What's up, people? What's up? Nice to see everybody. I'll give props out to Basto, who was the very first person here. Only 45 minutes early, and then I'm 10 minutes late to start the show. So he got to wait around for an hour. So thanks for everyone jumping in. Brooklyn, hey, what's up, what's up, Michael? I see Aldrin. I said that correctly. Al Bundy, thanks for, he gave me the phonetics on how to say it phonetically. DJ Themes, what's up, bud? Redneck, It's Mint, Heavy Metal, rolling down the list. Alignment, TS was, yep, thank you. Eddie, Funster, what's up, everybody? Yeah, we were, you know me. And wait, we're saying we got an echo. We shouldn't have an echo. I don't hear an echo. Does anybody else?
I don't have an echo.
I don't hear one.
What I'm pretty good.
Blue?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I mean, other than her, I mean, I can hear her TV just like this much, but
my TV, I don't have my TV on.
Oh.
Okay. Then it must be an echo.
Yeah. No, it could be. I heard somebody's TV, but it wasn't much. So I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what people say after. People will let you know if there's a echo. And sometimes with some of the settings on this, I know disabling. What was it? Disabling.
Yeah, if you click on cam/mic,
and then audio.
Yeah, and then audio, and then turn off the disable audio processing. That usually.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't happen all the time. Usually, if I'm using a headset, I have no issues. If I use my mic and my speakers, sometimes has an issue. What's up, Sandman Bob? All the time, Patty. So let's see. We're going to go ahead. Today's subject matter. We're going to talk about the AutoWidget add-on. We have DrInfernoo. Yeah, DrInfernoo. DrInfernoo is going to talk about that, and he's the creator of that add-on. Very neat little
it's awesome
tool that people may want to use. We're also going to talk about Shadow. We're going to make that an every week thing as long as there's additions to Shadow each week. I will talk about it. If he's not made any additions to it and we don't have any particular questions or things that people want to talk about or ask about, I'm not going to talk about it every single week. So since there was additions all this week, I tried to write down all the additions. If the people that are watching, if there's some things that I'm missing, you guys can tell me about those, and I'll mention those when we get to that section. We're also going to talk about TMDB Helper. So for any of you folks that have used Open Meta, Metallic, all those meta forks, you may be familiar with that feel. So people can check that out. Let's see, Auburn. Let's see, Auburn's jumped in. Eddie's jumped in. Trooper, JJ.
Oh, hey, Ed.
Yeah, Ed's always jumping in there. Sharon, thank you for joining. Gold Rush. Marvin, he's jumped in there. So that's what we got going on there. So I will start with a small little update that I'll explain, and then we'll jump right into AutoWidget. So we talked about last week that Jay Sergio is not updating Resolve URL, which has been discussed for months, that he backed out of that. And one of the things that someone stepped up was Gujal stepped up to do updates for it. And there was some issues last week where people weren't sure if that was legit, if it was real, and yes, it is real. And the code has been passed around for the people that have repos that were using the directory for Jay Sergio, that those repos may want to point to Gujal's repository.
You know, I just wanted to throw in.
Yep.
I was talking with the dev for Venom earlier this week, and he had never done that with Jay Sergio's repo because it popped in like Cartoon Network and Adult Swim and stuff like that into the Venom repo.
Yeah.
So for anybody that wants to do it now with Gujal's repo, all he has is the resolvers. So he doesn't have all that extra stuff. Nothing extra shows up in your repo if you include it. Yeah, that was what I noticed.
And you'll get the newest stuff because you're gonna want to do it. And just as an FYI, people say, "Well, it's all working. What am I gonna? Why would I want to do it?" So I went ahead and pulled up his latest one. So if you look at the versions, this is version 5.0, and then the last two numbers is what normally changes.
Yeah.
And it's 0.41 now. So code changes were none. His base code stayed the same. He added a resolver, which was Prime Videos. He fixed Let's see, Chromecast, Click and Load, Clip Watching, Cloud B, Go Unlimited, MyStream. He fixed those, which meant there was some type of an issue in the script for that plugin. So he made fixes to that. He also removed some resolvers that weren't working correctly or were broke, which is any files, best or B streams, declips, Gorilla Vid. I think I've seen that before. The H265, which I've seen that before in resolvers. He's removed that. Watch Share, he removed that. So there's a few of them that he's removed. I remember earlier in the week, and forgive me for forgetting, there was an issue, and we talked about it last show, that one of the sites had a problem that if you didn't have a membership, that that it would not work.
What site is this?
For his resolver last week, and I didn't write it down.
Oh,
but it looks like he removed that because I talked about last show. You could uncheck it in the resolver settings.
Yeah, it was the up to box.
There you go. Yep. And so it looks like he's removed it because I don't even see that. And I know he said that there was an issue with it, that it really wasn't working. Some people were getting some dancing cartoon or some kind of little image going on, but he's removed that. It looks like so. It's good that somebody's updating it, and we talked about this weeks.
And it's good to update.
Yeah, get it updated because you may find most of it works, but there may be a few sites that aren't.
Well, and what usually ends up happening too is that stuff goes down, they get all pissy. This isn't working, that isn't working. They're blaming, they're blaming everybody. They're blaming all the add-on devs and everything. Oh, how come this?
Or Cody.
But meanwhile, it's
or
nobody's.
Cody itself.
Yeah, it's nobody's. Poor Cody or RD, but it's nobody's fault. But keep your shit updated.
I don't know. Sometimes it's RD's fault.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, RD does have. We talked about RD. If you follow them on Twitter, again, we know with the issues that's going worldwide. Everybody's at home. We have the stay-at-home orders basically around the globe.
Yep.
And lots of people are home, and when they're home and they're working from home or just can't work, they got the TV on. Yeah, a lot of people do, and they're watching.
Yeah, even if you're not watching.
Yeah, but it's just on. Yep. And so they were showing the bandwidth usage, and it's like an all-time high every few days, especially the weekends. They're like up a new high for bandwidth usage. So just have that understanding that when you have that much of an influx of anything, if everybody wanted gas at the same time, you're going to have the same issue. So when you have an influx of so many more users, you're going to have some disruptions, you're going to have some issues. Websites can't keep up. I know that we talked about it last week where Netflix and all these different streaming services were pulling back. Even YouTube was pulling back on their quality because they were using so much bandwidth they had to pull back on the quality so that everybody could get it, if that makes sense. So that's just going to happen. Just hang with it, folks. It will get better.
Yeah.
There's
more people on the internet now than ever before.
Yeah, and streaming
all at the same
movies.
time.
Yep. So that's gonna happen. So it is what it is. Giorgio, thanks for joining. Tara jumps in the show over there on the side, and I saw Tim Windsor, who is always watching the show. He's jumped in there. So thanks for our regular watchers. We're up to 64. So we will go ahead. That's the simple stuff. If you guys have questions as we're going through the show, post over there. And Dabs isn't always quick to answer that question if we're talking about something else. If I blow past it, do me a favor, post it again. I'm not going to look at it as you're being rude because sometimes I'm going to come back to it and I forget because my memory's not as good.
And sometimes you're just not paying attention to that.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's hard. So you can't do both at the same time.
Yeah, and I've got to keep Telegram open because AA said that if he had any things that he'd want to talk about, and he may jump in the side chat to talk about when we get to talking about Shadow. So we're going to talk about AutoWidget. In my description of it, if I had to give a description, would be like a super favorites for widgets. If any of you guys have used super favorites and how that works, this very cool add-on that DrInfernoo created, this little add-on, it's going to make making skins or customizing skins a lot easier. And I just want to thank him for coming on the show. And I'll give the floor to you to talk about this. I can also share my screen. I have Cody running, so if we want to show that, I can do that at any time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got it open too. If we got a group
Okay,
with it, I can...
yeah. All you have to do with that, if you want to do that, if you click down at the bottom, you'll see it says share screen, and it's going to give you a pop-up at the top. You'll tell it what you want to share. You have to share your entire computer screen, because if you try to say just Cody only, it's black. So just as an FYI.
Oh, I got you. Well, I don't know if we need to be sharing screens. I will if we need to.
Yeah.
God can share his if you want.
I'm
you can walk him through it.
I'm just super honored to be here.
No.
I really hope that people get some good use out of AutoWidget. I've worked really hard to try to make sure that it'll work with a lot of different kinds of skins, because I know everybody uses a different skin. You know, I tend to use, I've been on Arctic Zephyr 2 for a while. Now I'm on Arctic Horizon. And so those were kind of my test bed to make sure, oh, hey, Tim. Those were for me to make sure that it was working. But, you know, I worked with Silvo to make sure it was working with that one. Actually, I've got some guy that's using Embrewery that he can't get it working, so I need to mess with Embrewery a little bit.
Yeah, Automod works perfect.
Yeah, I played with Automod to make sure that was working. Actually, I talked with the Automod dev to figure out some of the stuff I was working on, so it's all good. I always felt like I'll tell you what my inspiration was. Is I have a 5-year-old, and she watches Disney movies and Pixar movies and Despicable Me and all that stuff, and I've got all these tracked lists liked with all those movies in them, right? You know, I've got a Pixar list and I've got a DreamWorks list so she can watch Shrek and all that. But I can't have a ton of widgets on my screen or it'll take forever to load, right? So I try to keep it low. I have 3 or 4 widgets for her, but then every day she sees the exact same content. She sees Pixar at the top, DreamWorks right under that, Disney right under that. And then my wife's here using Netflix, and I look at it and I go, they never show you the same stuff twice, do they? Not ever, not once. Do you log into Netflix and see the same thing you saw yesterday? Xonfluence, if that's how you say it, should be working. I see that ad. As far as I know, theirs is a little bit different because you've got to find the path and then add it as a favorite first. Hang on just a sec, guys.
Yeah. And I will post. He made a video on this.
I'm back.
I will post in the show notes the link to his video. If you're in my Telegram group or in my Telegram group, we talked about it. I also posted the link in my Dabs community videos. So if you want to click on that, you'll also be able to see a video where he does a walkthrough. But go ahead.
Cool. Well,
Walkthrough's awesome.
I have seen some comments in there that walkthrough is a little bit fast. So I may do, I've tried to go slow, but maybe I'll do a slower one. We'll see. Was what I was thinking, you know, the reason I always wanted to do this was for my kid. She's sitting right here with me, and we load up her screen. Actually, now that I've done a new build all with AutoWidget, I've got her own profile, which are tricky as hell if you've ever played with profiles in Kodi. Mm-hmm. But now she's got 4 widgets, but they're never the same. Her group in AutoWidget, that's my kids group, has like 20 widgets in it. That's all different tracked lists with different kids stuff, all different stuff. And so she gets 4 random selections out of 20 every single time we load it up. And it can be, as far as I can tell, it's basically infinitely expandable. You can have as many groups, as many paths in a group, as many widgets, pull in from as many groups as you want. It does all kinds of stuff.
She sounds cute.
Yeah.
She is cute. She's too cute.
Yeah. Too cute for your own good.
Yeah.
Let's see. I will share. You can continue to talk, Dr. Inferno.
Sure.
And I will open up my screen and see where so people that may have never seen your video, then they can get an idea, because you're able to customize these widgets. And the coolest thing is you can randomize. Like he says, you're able to go in, and instead of having one widget, let's just say trending movies, you can create, let's say, five items that would be in that group, and each time, or even in a particular time limit, that widget will change.
Or you can refresh it and it'll do it for you.
Right. So let me.
Like for example, you can take trending, popular, you know, bunch of other stuff and put them in one widget. So every time you refresh, one time it'll be popular, one time it'll be trending.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So let me see. So Blue, you see my screen?
I do, yeah.
Oh yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Okay. So just this for shits and giggles. All right. So I've messed around with this a little bit, and you can see now I'm using this is Nox Silvo, and I was just trying to see what would work, and I played around with the TV shows. Now you can see the first widget up would be the Shadows popular movies. That's what this is. Is they're like just popular? It would be the category for in Shadow for popular movies. And you can name them what. This up here is my track list, and you can see this is 4K movies worth watching. You can see my name from track. You're also able to change that name. So I just left the name what it was on the website, but you can call it whatever you want. You could say list 1 or whatever. And so this is my track list for 4K movies that I think are cool and worth watching. This one here is popular for Shadow, or in Shadows, it's in the popular category. Now, with my skin, since I'm using Silvo, you also have the option of doing lists. Wow. For me, I actually like lists a little bit because I like it. I can see my background.
And you should go into the actual add-on.
Yep, I will. But you can see those are the lists that I have here. This is recently updated TV shows. And this one here is Oscars. And that's Oscar. And I think that's a track list too.
Just real quick, have either of you guys played with shortcut widgets at all, or only widgets?
So far, well, I did one shortcut, yeah.
Okay.
I did shortcut. I did shortcut because that is, I went to this. I created the force refresh. And so I force refresh. Now, since I have a short group, and so it's refreshing, you can see it's still up there. So let's back up. Okay, so it actually didn't change the top one because it's a random whatever's in that choice. But I can see that the Marvel Cinematic Universe was second, and I can't remember what list this was, but it was 1917. But you could see, Marvel is there now. And let's see, for TV shows. Yeah, now, you remember the top one was my 4K list? Now you see it's trending, and I don't remember which add-on I was messing around with. It kept Shadow, which I think I only did one for this one, but this one changed. So, and you can also change the time limit. So I'm going to jump into add-ons. We'll just poke around take a look at the settings first.
Cool.
There it is. So we're going to go in here. Oh, I guess I need to go through, hold on.
You're good.
We can go this way. Wait.
Just do the context menu.
Yeah. I was like, I can't pull it up. All right, there we go. So here's you go with the context menu. You want to go ahead and explain any of this, Dr. Inferno?
Sure. I definitely can. So the top button up there is default on, but that's your key to everything. So anywhere inside Kodi, as long as you've got that option on in the settings, anywhere inside there, you can pull up a context menu and add that path to AutoWidget, just like that.
Yeah.
The reason that's able to be turned off is because I know like somebody might put out a build and want to turn that off. That way users of their build don't look up their context menu and go, what is this? And go messing things up. Yeah. Almost like a kiosk mode, right? Here. The one underneath for advanced options is actually once you've made some paths, you can edit them from the context menu inside the add-on. And there are some things you can edit in there that if you don't do it right, you will break your widgets. So that option right there lets you edit those if you want to, but that guy defaults off. So you can really only play with stuff that you're not going to mess up.
Yeah, so if you're you can turn that on. It's off by default, but I turned mine on because I like to mess with stuff. So even if I break it, this is a portable Kodi, so I'll just wipe it.
But for normal people, Todd, they should definitely leave it off, just because it's got enough options in it that if you need to change the name or you want to change the artwork or something, then you're good. You don't need that.
And if you do have it on, the very first time that you go into that dialog, it'll warn you. It'll
Yes.
say, "Yo, if you mess with stuff in here, you're gonna break it.
You
do you
could.
still want to do that?"
Yeah.
So I've tried to make it pretty friendly for people that just want to see what it does and see how it works, all the way up to people that really want to do it.
So Todd, maybe for now, turn it off though, and then we can show them what we're talking about.
I'm interested to see what Glenn's saying here. I think he's asking me if there'd be a way to refresh one widget instead of all of them at once. I think that's what Glenn's saying. And I am trying to figure out a way to make that work. What it will probably be is going to be another menu inside the add-on. Like right now, you can see all the different groups. Probably what I'll have is another menu where you can see all the actual widgets that you have active using AutoWidget, and then refresh them individually from there. Yeah. Haven't quite figured that out. It'll probably be a little ways off, but it is something I'd like to try to implement here pretty soon.
My personal preference is I like refreshing all of them all at once.
Oh, yeah.
I think so too. It's actually really cool. I love it when I'm watching something, because I don't turn off the notification. So when I'm watching something, I'll get a little notification in the top that said, "Hey, AutoWidget, refresh your widgets." And I'm like, sweet, it worked. I'm like, I did that.
Yeah. So enable path refresh service.
So that is what's going to refresh your paths on a time limit. So that makes it so that they will auto rotate without you ever having to touch them. You can set it to do it anytime. You can make sure that it doesn't happen while something's playing. I know on a lot of devices, when you get those kind of background processes going, it can kind of goof up what you're actually watching, which is kind of irritating, obviously. Yeah. And you can do that, as you can see on the screen, all the way down to half an hour, up to 24 hours, if I remember right.
And I think default is 2 hours, right?
Yeah, and I made it
2 hours.
Yeah, I made it half hour because I wanted to change a lot, just because I was messing with it.
If you guys,
hours.
12 hours. There you go.
So 12 hours.
If you haven't figured it out, and it's mostly just for testing, that refresh paths action is every 5 seconds. So if you call it twice within 5 seconds of each other, it won't do anything.
Yeah.
And that's mainly just to kind of throttle the add-on so it's not doing too much at once.
Yeah, it's reloading everything in those
exactly.
And that could be art and all kinds of stuff.
Exactly. Because once AutoWidget tells your widget to like change to something else, Cody has to call that add-on. Yep. So if you point it to Siren or Magic Dragon or whatever you've got your widget pointed at, as soon as it has to refresh, it's going to flip and run that add-on and go get that directory, all those files, all the artwork, all the metadata, everything is not coming from AutoWidget. It's coming from a different place now, so it has to load it. I'll see it all the time where my label on the widget will change, but then it takes it a second to change the content in the widget because it has to load that add-on first.
Yep, it's got to grab all that art. And if you're using a track list, now it's got to call out to tracked. And then tracked has to pull all that stuff back in. So, I could see where, while nothing's playing for most users, but if you it depends on your device, I would think. I mean, better devices could handle more. If you're using on a low-end Android box or stick, those are the devices you're going to want to limit what you're using. And we've talked about that numerous times. You can do anything on any kind of device, a box, you can. But how many things do you want running at one time depends on the processor, the RAM, your internet speed.
Exactly.
Those are variables. So if you have low-end internet, low-end device, you may want to try to limit some of those things, and that's what he's giving you the option. And by default, it is limited. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah. Because by default, it's while nothing's playing is default. Yeah,
which means your paths will refresh, but you won't get the little notification. That's default.
Okay. All right.
You can set that to the same options as the other one. It'll always show you the notification. It'll never show you the notification, or only when you're not watching something. Those are the three options.
Okay, I gotcha.
And what I was going to say about loading speed is this will work with ideally anything. So you could, if you've got local content, if you're a local library person where you're getting your own media, or maybe you do integration like from Open Meta or from TMDB Helper, little plug there. If you do any of that stuff and you've got actual library paths in your Cody, you can point this at those too, and they load almost instantly. You know, a library path is very, very fast to load. So this works super well for library stuff because it's basically immediate. As soon as the path changes, the content on the widget changes every single time.
Right, because it already has all that data already downloaded.
Exactly.
It's in the user data folder.
Yeah, and you can mix and match them. You can have one AutoWidget pulling from a group that has library paths and add-on paths. You can use it with music add-ons like Spotify widgets if you wanted to, or
I never thought about music though.
anything. Shortcut groups are kind of what I wanted to show off because I've been seeing a lot of people play with widgets, but I haven't seen a lot of people play with shortcut groups.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to hit OK. If you make any changes for stuff like that, always hit OK to just save it. It saves it. All right, so I'm just going to show. I'm going to go into an add-on. Let me go into Saren, and we'll just pull up the context menu for something if we want to add it to a group.
Todd, did you show them how to actually make a folder first, though?
Here, why don't I share mine?
Yeah. All right, hold on. Oh shoot! I just hit. Yeah, that's all I need is Photoshop opening up.
Yeah,
it takes like 4 hours.
Perfect, exactly.
Yeah, everything slows down. All right, let me stop sharing my screen. Move that. Okay. So I'm gonna throw that in the bin. Dr. Inferno, if you go ahead and share yours, I will authorize it.
Cool.
Okay.
Believe I am.
Hold on, I'm waiting to see it still. I ended up I shut a Photoshop down, so.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yep. All right, there we go.
I'm in.
I'll make that the full screen. So that's the main screen.
Cool.
And you're using Arctic Horizon, is that what you said?
Yeah, this is Arctic Horizon.
Okay.
This is the new skin I've been playing with. I really, really like it. Hang on just 1 second, guys. What's up? I will in a minute, okay? I gotta show him something. Sorry.
That's okay. It's just cute.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go. My thing's loading kind of slow because my laptop's not the best. Cool. So, for example, if you wanted to use this as a widget group, it's pretty simple. So if I want to make a movies widget with a lot of stuff in it, I can go to each one of these little paths. I can pull up my context menu and add it to the group. I can make a new group. We'll just call this one. I already have one called movies, so I'll call this one movies too.
You're going really fast.
Oh, okay, I'll slow down.
No, that wasn't that quick. Go ahead.
Okay, she's probably right. All right, one more time. Put in a group. From here, I can actually change if I want a widget group or a shortcut group. Sorry, my icons aren't showing here. I don't really know what's happening.
That always happens to me when I'm trying to show stuff off. I swear to God.
I've already made a widget.
But all right. So just as an FYI, when we're streaming like this, you're using way more processor, and so everything takes longer. Just as an FYI.
Probably a big part of it.
Yep.
After you tell it what group to put it in, you can change the label if you want to. So we can call this something different if we want, or whatever you like. And just as a quick little checkpoint that we're actually doing this right. I go down into that group that I just made. I do have popular. I've got top rated movies. I don't know if you guys figured this out, but you can actually click on these and they'll go into that path.
Yep.
And the one at the bottom that says random path will actually, in this instance, take you to one of those random paths.
Yeah.
So this is popular movies. You can edit these. My latest version, which I am actually not running in this particular build, but the latest version has a little bit more advanced editor dialogue. This is an older version of it.
But this is the advanced one, right?
This is actually so this one is actually before I even made it have a basic versus advanced.
Because I saw a lot of stuff that you can change in there, and that was
yes. So that stuff is all advanced stuff. Now in a newer version, the version you have, for example, you can actually hide a lot of that advanced stuff.
Hey, if you would go back into, can you open that just to show people what that is and to maybe give people an idea? Because if you change that path part, that's what'll, you can screw it all up if you change that path.
Definitely true. So
that's the biggest. For me. That's your biggest issue if you screw with that.
I'm afraid if I update, it's gonna goof me up. But
no, it's okay.
Essentially, the way this works is between window and path, it's figuring out how to make the activate window command. So it's got to know which window to use, videos. If this was a music widget, for example, it would be window music. And then this path is what content you're going to get. So.
And can I'm going to just interrupt you for 1 second and just say that on the version, the newer version, the only things you can change are the art, the info, and the label.
That's it. Yeah, really don't mess you up. That doesn't mess you up.
Yeah. Here.
Not the path. Not the yeah.
Let me stop my screen for a second, and I'll get I'll get a different version up that I can show you guys kind of how it looks with the newest one.
It's awesome.
In any case, I was about to show you guys shortcut groups, and then I kind of didn't.
I know.
Okay.
We'll sidetrack you in a damn minute. Hey, Darren, while you're loading that up, Dr. Fertile, Darren, you said, what do I need? What do I need when I pause video and all the sound is like?
What?
I mean, I'm not sure.
Oh, I think he's talking about like on the OSD where it shows like your codec information, the res and stuff. He says he needs that. He needs a skin that shows some cool stuff.
Oh, well, that also has to do with the add-on, because some add-ons show that and some don't.
That's true.
Some add-ons will give you more detail. Shadow gives you a little bit more. If you go to Gaia, I mean, that gives you a plethora of information. So sometimes that is all about the add-on itself and the skin.
Yeah, and definitely the skin.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta grab me another beer while you're loading that up.
Sure. I have to load in my test build, and I guess I broke something, so I think I'm getting there. Yeah, I think
I can show mine for right now if you guys want.
Here, I'm ready if you want me to throw mine back up there.
Sure.
Cool. Cool.
Promoting my 1516 beer today.
Am I on? You guys can see me?
Yep.
Okay,
we gotcha.
Cool. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not what I want. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna turn that on real quick. Let me. I'm not sure why that's not showing up. Let me get out of this and I'll open it back up again. Sometimes those settings don't really work until you reboot. They should, but they don't always. Yeah, no.
You mean it's not perfect? What?
Yeah, I know.
What?
It's crazy.
It's not perfect for free?
Hey, man, I'm doing my best.
For free. For free, I want that shit working 100%
I was going to say, you want your money back, eh, Todd?
Yeah, that's right. I want my money back.
Your
check's in the mail.
So this dialog does work a little bit different than the other. The first thing you choose is whether you want this to be a shortcut or a widget. So this is a fundamental difference. If you make this into a shortcut for a shortcut group, it'll show you a widget of the options, all the different shortcuts and then if you click it, it'll take you there. A widget group is the one where it's going to change it out every now and then. So I'm actually just going to make a new group because I didn't have any set up in this build. And I'm going to call this widget popular. Perfect. That's fine. I'm just going to add a couple of these in there as well, just for funsies.
And when he's going through, you can see he's telling it that he wants it in the widgets.
Yeah, sorry, I went a little fast.
No, that's cool. You're
adding
putting
the widget group, yeah.
He's adding it to the widget. So he's taking those categories and saying, I want those categories to be in the widget group, which is like the widget folder for
Exactly
that particular.
right.
So every time it refreshes, one of those will pop up. So if it's got like 10, you can go through 10 different widgets basically in one.
Yeah, and so now I'll show you make a shortcut group the exact same way. So I'm going to add movies as a shortcut. I'm going to make a new shortcut group. You can call it shortcuts. That's just fine. And then this particular shortcut is going to be called movies. Same deal. We'll put TV shows in that shortcut group. And I'll put people in there too. Whoops.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put it in my widget group. Who cares?
Okay.
So the path editor I wanted to show, there's a group editor, so you can edit the group itself. And this is the thing, I checked advanced settings. So it's actually telling me, if you change any of those, something's not gonna write. So you can, if you disable it, it'll automatically disable it and give you the base dialog, or you can just continue and you'll get this dialog. So anything with yellow is something you basically don't ever want to change. It does show these here because I'm all in the name of transparency. But if you have just the basic options, like that, this is all you get.
Right.
And it's perfect.
And
it
so
works
you're not going to break it if you have the advanced.
Yeah.
None of this stuff is going to break it unless I don't know how you could. If you go down into art, you can actually specify all the different artwork that goes here. This is really cool for some different stuff that I've kind of showed off. Maybe I'll have to do a video to show them because I don't have it set up right now. But basically, you can put any artwork on a shortcut or on a widget, and then it works especially well for shortcut groups because you can have a shortcut with like a specific fan art image on the back. Like, this is my shortcut to all the Marvel movies, so I'm going to make it have a fan art of the Marvel logo.
Yeah, because if you're using a widget, it's basically 9 times out of 10. If you say you pick popular, it's going to show you the posters for all the movies that they're showing.
As you go across the list.
Not just a blank whatever. So that would be perfect if you're grabbing all the Marvel movies in one.
Yeah, or
to have a Marvel picture.
So a widget that I was playing with when I was testing that is I had a shortcut widget, this, where it had a Marvel shortcut, it had a Pixar shortcut, it had a Star Wars shortcut, and then this fan art on the right-hand side would actually show Star Wars or Marvel or whatever.
I'm so doing this. Look at you, made me make another build now.
I know, man. I did the same thing. So this one in particular, my shortcut group, has got movies and TV shows. Those are paths. So we can shift them, which just kind of changes what order they're in once they get to the actual widget. And we can edit them same way as the other. So just put something here and you guys will see how that actually works out. Let me get that widget here. So actually putting a widget on is pretty simple. It works the same as any other widget. So right now I've got all this set up and I don't really need any of it. But you choose a widget, go to AutoWidget, which is a program. We want shortcuts. This is the group shortcuts. And then we want shortcuts from the group shortcuts. And we'll use that as the widget. And we can, I think these look good with square, sure.
And then skins, those options will be dependent on the skin. because not all skins have that same options.
Because mine says customize widget
Right.
versus just
Yes.
widget,
So,
for example.
That's totally true. And I can't remember who it was earlier. Somebody mentioned Exonfluence, and that was a weird one. It works a little bit differently. You have to first add the thing to your favorites.
Favorites, yes.
And then go point a widget at that thing from your favorites,
Yes.
which was kind of weird, but it still works.
And just you know, when you asked earlier how to pronounce that, it's just Zonfluence, kind of like Xena with an X.
That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
That's how I think of it, like Xena, because that's an X.
That's probably right.
Whatever.
Or your princess.
So
Xena.
you can see up here, it's got that where I made it say test plot, so you can actually change that. And I added this artwork stuff and test plot specifically because of this skin, because it shows that stuff really in a cool way. There's a, for instance, I'm just going to point this at something besides AutoWidget for a sec. It's totally possible this isn't even going to work for what I'm trying to show. Like I said, this is my test build, so I wipe it every now and then, and I don't have everything set up right.
You can tell you're a dev by how fast you move around.
Oh, man, I do, and I'm constantly in here. Especially, man, we've been locked down in our house. I've been clickety-clacking away trying to get this thing right. So this big blank area under where it says the time, in this skin shows clear art for that item. So it was really important to me to be able to, if I wanted this kind of spotlight view in the skin, I wanted to be able to show off all the art, all the plot, all the cool stuff that you can if you put that on an auto widget. So I put it in there so you can do that in the editor. I'm planning on putting some other stuff. One thing that you'll see, some skins have something similar to this, or maybe it's just this one. I'm not sure.
The one I have has this too.
Yeah, so under here where this says John Wick action thriller, that's pulling from genres, obviously. But usually that's what's called label 2. So label is going to be the title of whatever content it is, and then label 2 shows up down below. I had somebody on the forum ask me today if I can make it where we can add label 2 to a shortcut, and I can definitely do that. It's like one line of code to add that in. So I'm going to do that here pretty quick, and you can change whatever you want.
Okay, so back up just a second here for a second.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So you created the shortcuts as a widget.
Yeah, so this is a TMDB Helper.
Right, that's a TMDB. But is it still part of there? I thought you had left it in there.
No. So this is just TMDB Helper.
TMDB, yep. Well, all right. So when you created the shortcuts, so the shortcuts as a widget, that would be pointing to certain. It's not a
certain anything. Here.
Because you created it there for a second, but I was trying to figure out what they actually did. Because I didn't do that. I mean, I created a shortcut as a shortcut.
Yeah, totally makes sense. I want square.
Because you had there was a couple items just in that shortcuts.
Yeah. So these are just quick ones I made from the addon.
Yeah.
But they go right where you'd expect. To the thing that you made the shortcut to. This is the movies section.
Okay. All
whatever.
Right.
So for example, if I wanted to.
So it's not what you would think of. Most people think of a widget as a bunch of movies.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a shortcut to that particular place in an add-on.
Right. So check this one out.
Right.
If I hit that and add it to the group as a shortcut, the shortcut group, this is going to have to reload my skin to make that widget work. But right here.
All right.
So if I went like this, if I change that top widget, instead of being from TMDB Helper, let's put him on an AutoWidget.
Yeah, because you had that as a random thing.
Yes. So this has got a few different things in it that'll end up being random.
Yep.
So the very first thing that you see, and what a lot of people are going to see first when they try this out,
Yep, I did this.
Initialize widgets.
I said it's broken.
Nope, it isn't.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't do it right.
It definitely looks broken for a second when you start.
But he clicked on it. He clicked on the initialize widget is what he did.
Yes, and so if you have a whole bunch of them, clicking on that will initialize all of them, which can take even a little bit longer than it did just now, for example. But you'll see that widget is not an auto widget anymore. It's now the popular widget from TMDB Helper. And you can pull these up. You can get info on them. You can go to them. This is exactly like if you pointed the widget to TMDB Helper in the first place.
And that you have that set up, and it will be random because it's going to pick one of the. I think you had 4 items in that widget. So this time it's popular, and the next time it may change to something else.
The next time it's probably just going to be popular again.
Yeah, you have 1 out of 4 chances that it's going to be the same. So hit it again. You might get something different.
Yeah, I think I actually did get the exact same one that time.
Yeah,
that happened in the other video that I made.
Yeah, you did.
I kept getting the same thing over and over again. See, it changed it to top rated.
Yep.
And once it loads, like I said, my laptop's being stupid. Oh, it did it.
Yeah.
So this is all different stuff. This is not popular anymore. This is top rated.
So this would be using the TMDB rating system or the IMDb, whatever they're using as a rating system. Yeah,
it's whatever TMDB, what the MovieDB website returns as the top rated movies. Yeah, exactly. But you can, like I said, you can point this at anything. You could point this top widget at the movies section if you wanted to, and then you'll have kind of a shortcut widget that opens these things instead of movies. Or you could point it at, you could have a group with all the different paths to all your different IPTV services if you wanted to. And then have like a random IPTV show up every now and then. Or a random channel. Or, God, any number of things. You can use a shortcut widget with shortcuts to stuff from your wizard if you need a shortcut that's easily available to like look at your log file or update all add-ons. That's actually one I don't even know if people know. You can hit this update all right here, put that in a shortcut.
And that's looking to try to update all your add-ons and your scripts and your repositories and all that.
So I had a couple that just need to be updated because it's a fresh build and it didn't. Oh man, I really thought that was gonna work. That would have been so cool.
Yeah, if all of a sudden you started seeing some.
I think it will work. I probably just don't have it quite right.
Yeah, well, it might take a few seconds for it to load.
Yeah,
it's a little slow. But yeah, but so the main thing when we've seen this is where you're able to create these custom, because if anybody has done a if you guys have done a build and you're like, I want a widget to be like this, all right, use it Zonfluence or Xena. Is it Zonfluence, honey? Did I say it right?
That's what she said.
Zonfluence. All right, I just want to make sure I'm saying it right because she'll tell me later. All right, so if you have it set like that, sometimes it's a pain in the ass to set this up. And what he's giving you is these tools that makes it so much easier and making it different every time it loads, or you set that time limit for half hour, 2 hours, or whatever, and it will change that thing so you're not looking at the same list every single time. And I never thought, all right, so when I use that shortcut, I used that shortcut. I made a shortcut, and then I used it as a shortcut actually at the bottom of my on my menu. I didn't
Oh, yeah,
think
sure.
I didn't think about doing it like you said, which it made it a long widget that was like shortcut, shortcut, shortcut,
Yeah,
shortcut,
that makes
shortcut.
sense.
That's because when I was thinking, I'm like, well, let's make it a shortcut for that. But you basically made a long bar of a bunch of shortcuts.
Exactly. This is one of the ones that I use on my main, on my Shield. Um, there's those latest releases widgets, like one's all the latest movies that are out, one's all the latest 4K movies.
Yeah.
So I have three different ones. I have a regular one and a 4K one that come from one user on track, and then a different one that comes from a different user. Sometimes they have different content, so I like to have all three of them. But I don't want to have three widgets all the time, so I throw those three in their own AutoWidget group, and then whenever it reloads, it's going to show me one of those three latest releases widgets. So I see all the latest releases and not just all the ones from one specific list. So like right now I've got all the latest 4K, but if I refresh this, it'll probably be one of the other lists instead. Like the one by Gilad, it tends to have a lot of like little B movies and stuff like that in it. There's one by Gary that has less B movies. So I like to look at that one also. And it's as simple as refreshing your widgets or just waiting for them to refresh. If you do it like that. I don't know why it's doing an extra little skin build here. My apologies. I'm gonna have to look into that because it shouldn't need to.
Well, but I bet you money. Everything is slower when you're streaming and you're connected to one of these streams. I'm telling you, everything is twice or three times as slow. It just because you're using processors. So that's just my computer is not as slow as it is when I'm doing a live show. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm really glad I got to show this. Hopefully, like people see this, and if you don't mind, I can do a little plug. Like
I was gonna say, talk about where can now because people have asked me, and where are they going to be able to get this? Where, how would they be able to get this kind of this particular add-on? Totally.
So there is a forum post up on the Kodi forum. Official forums got it. I've been doing a lot of tech support in there. I am always in the subreddit, the add-ons for Kodi subreddit. So if you post in there, I'm going to see it. I also did an announcement post in there. We have our own Discord server that anybody's invited to. There's a link in the sidebar on our subreddit. That there's an AutoWidget channel. There's a bunch of little support channels. We've got a Siren channel and a Venom channel and, all kinds of whatever. I'm on Telegram a lot, but I don't have a Telegram channel for AutoWidget just because I kind of prefer Discord for it. If enough people kind of went to me and said, hey, I would really love a Telegram channel, I could probably do that.
We can hook you up with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've done it before. I just haven't gotten to it.
No, I'm just saying we could definitely get you enough people interested.
Oh, wonderful.
And Todd will post all his Discord and everything in the show notes.
Yeah,
I show notes.
Thanks, yeah.
And people, people, when you're watching this video, when you watch this video, underneath it, there's be like you'll see my snippet of what this show's about. And it always says show more. If you click the show more, you will see all the information, and I give you hyperlinks to all the stuff that if we talk about things, he talks about the Discord group, I'll have a link to that. I'll have a link to all the different things to make it so that you can quickly click that one link and you go to what he's talking about. Or so anything we talk about, if we have a URL for something to a repo, I post it in there. So y'all watch for that. Watch for that. I will have that information in there so that makes it as easy for users, but users don't think to click show more on my video. Just click it and you'll see Dabs tries to give you the information as easy as possible.
I was also going to say, and in all of those, the Discord, the Reddit, the forum, everywhere, there's a link to my GitHub. I'm super transparent on my GitHub. All my development goes up on there. So if anybody wants to follow me there, open issues when you got a problem, all my file sources and repos and everything are there. So it's definitely not hard to find me. And if you need any other links from me to throw down there in the show notes, I can definitely give you whatever.
Well, and it was great because it was so easy to install because I went to your Git and then I saw that you have the URL. And so I pulled the repo, grabbed the add-on, worked perfect.
what I will say is, and I noticed this is funny. I was not even running a dev build when I was showing it to you guys, and Dab was. You were running the like 0.437, which comes from the dev repo.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out which repo to pull it from.
Yeah,
today.
so I'll just clarify that a little bit. The dev repo is dev builds. I see that. Clean it off with a towel. The dev repo is dev builds, and there's a build there every single time I push to git, which a lot of the time means that those builds are broken.
Oops.
Well, I mean, you're probably fine. Like, for example, I know that 458 that I pushed earlier errored every single time you opened it. So
hey, didn't we say we had that blue because you said I can't use this for I got to roll back one, and I
It was
did.
giving me open scrapers error.
So I rolled back.
That's weird.
I did find that I couldn't use.
I just rolled back.
Yeah, I just went back a version.
So I will always recommend, unless you're like bleeding edge, want to see what I'm doing, grab one from the regular non-dev repo, the stable repo.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't grab the dev repo like Todd.
Yeah, that's my recommendation. And every now and then I'll be like, hey, I need somebody to test something, and then I can just send them my test zip from the dev repo whenever. I keep it installed when I am like doing development on it because it's easy for me to just install it from a repo instead of zip every time.
Okay,
Yep.
so all right, so I'm sharing my screen now. This is your Git, right? This is your Git.
Sure is.
And all right, so I went to the plugin, and what he's talking about, there's different versions, and that's over here. If you click here, you'll get different versions.
Here, let me show that a different way if I can.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, if he opens his repo, Todd, you'll see 3 different zips in Kodi.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to show.
Yeah, one's for normal, one's for dev, and the other one's open scrapers. You can tell I played the crap out of this today.
Is what it is.
Okay.
So if you go to this in a browser, it looks like this. It obviously doesn't look like this inside Kodi. But see, there's whatever this one is will be your stable repo.
Yep.
The one that ends in dev is the dev repo. And then I also maintain AutoWidget, so I have that there. But these are 3 separate repos, so you can have.
Yeah, Doc, can you open your Kodi?
Yeah.
Just show them in there.
Yeah, I can. Why didn't I do that to start with? I don't know.
Well,
no, it's good for go to install from zip or install from zip, and then you can see.
Perfect. Yeah, so this is me. This is my source. You can see down here in the bottom left, DrInfernoo.github.io.
Yep.
And then stable
That's
repo,
what we want.
dev repo, wizard repo. Yeah. And then you can always just install from repo. See, the dev repo has got 458. I know for a fact 458 crashes every time you use it. The stable repo 137, I know works fairly well.
Yeah, no, it's been good.
Yeah, well enough for me to send it to the repo, basically.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
So there's different ways and different versions. I will put all those hyperlinks in the show notes, so folks don't think I didn't write his data. I will show it. I will put it in there. Mess around with it. If you're a guy or a person that likes to twist around and change things up, it's really, really cool. You're able to do some things. I really like it because normally we see the same thing forked and repeated. It's wash, rinse, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. It's the same stuff.
Every build I've done for the last 2 years has had a latest releases widget and my next up widget and then like a bunch of kids widgets, and this just changes it. So like every single time it's something different.
Yeah. So,
can I share mine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I actually want to see what yours is like.
Yeah. Well, this
I mean,
is her
it's
work
not.
today.
It's not. I didn't do any skinning, so it's just straight up just build. But I mean, I like it. I love it actually. Okay, so share screen.
It's going to cost you $5 to put on a repo.
What?
You can put it in my repo.
Yes. Okay. I'm using Aura mod, which is really nice. Now, these obviously don't have anything in it because I'm just making a brand new build. So I've got my add-ons. I grabbed Saren and Fen, and obviously the movie database helper too.
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
We'll
So
talk
I
about
threw
that next.
AutoWidget straight in. And when I grabbed on that one, like the thing that I like about it is that when it starts up, one thing about Auramod, it starts up with your very first, like, oh my God, my brain just fritzed there. Your very first, whatever's in the top of here. Yes, please. AutoWidget starts up. So it starts up actually like this. So it totally looks like Netflix. So for this one, for example, I've got trending and popular, and both of them are from Fen. So when I click on these, it would show you Fen. It would play from Fen. This one, I've got popular and trending as well, but this one time it's from Saren. And then I did the same thing with TV for both of them. I did their own separate things, but with different categories. So that you'll notice the funny thing is they're obviously not pulling from the same place because they don't have the exact same things going on, which I think is kind of cool.
For example, Saren pulls basically everything from Tracked, whereas most add-ons pull from the MovieDB or the TMDB.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely see different lists between Saren and other widgets.
But I find Tracked is more cutting edge, and to me, it's more representative of what people are watching right now. I think
because they're actually tracking what people are watching.
Yeah, they know what people are watching, and so their lists seem to change or are more fluid than the other ones that are waiting on votes.
Like popular from. But for example, like popular movies, what is it? Most popular is what they call it from Tracked, is always the same.
Yeah, that's all time or exactly over a period of time.
The popular stuff from TMDB, I feel like is a lot more accurate because it's like popular this week or something like that. Where Tracked is like over all time. Yeah. So some of their lists are a little bit more accurate, and sometimes TMDB is. It just really depends. Oh, Horace.
So for me though, like the top two I put in were both movies from two different add-ons, then TV shows from two different add-ons, and then my fifth I used the TMDB Helper, and I did trending this week, which is kind of cool. They also have trending today. Like they have so many different options. That's what was really cool.
Yeah. We're gonna go to TMDB next. That'll be the next.
Oh, you mean right here?
Well, that's gonna be one of the next subjects. And Horace, I guess he's looking to send you his bill because he must have it all pimped out.
I'd have to install it.
I know
that would be. The build wouldn't be easy. I mean, yeah. All right. So let's give a ground introduction to what TMDB is. So we've talked about the auto widgets. We've talked about that. We're going to move on to TMDB because this has already been an hour. We just talked about one add-on. So we'll talk about the movie database helper, TMDB Helper, however you want to call it. If you've played around with Meta, Open Meta, Metallic, what was the other ones? Shoot, honey.
They all had the word metallic. Oh, was it open?
Metallic for all. There was
they usually start with Meta.
So they all are using somewhat the same, coming from the same base, same idea. So this is the newest version of it. It's most updated. This has some of the coolest shit in it that I really, when you told me, Dr. DrInfernoo, you told me the open meta was gone. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, the developer basically just disappeared. I talked to him in November, and then I never heard from him again.
Wow.
So I really don't even know, but there's just nobody to maintain it. I did a little bit of work on it. A few other people have sent like pull requests and stuff to try to fix some things. But if you go back to some of the earlier versions of Open Meta and now you use it now, there's a lot of bugs just because things have changed. APIs have changed. Yep. Things have been added to it, and it's slow and buggy and just doesn't really work very well. And there's nobody to fix it. Yeah. So I've basically just told everybody move on.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, and for my money, TMDB Helper is all the way around a better add-on. No offense to the Open Meta dev because he put a lot of work into it. He's a really good dude, but TMDB Helper does everything that Open Meta and Open Info did together in one add-on, plus a bunch of other stuff that never was there before. It's great.
So should I head over to the settings for now?
Yeah, let's take a look at the settings on it because settings is very important on this add-on. If you've ever installed Saren, you know Saren does not work unless you go into the settings and fix some shit. You have to fix some things in TMDB
like me
Helper.
today?
Yeah, when you're asking for help, and I'm thinking, why is this not working? It took me a little while to figure out what she wasn't doing correct, and then I was like,
and
hey, did you do
exactly
this?
like Saren, instead of Saren installs scrapers.
The scrapers, yeah.
This you have to install players. Otherwise,
Yeah, if you don't, it don't work. It's
well,
like-
I think you can see the sort of the info of it, but you can't actually play it.
And the reason why they do this, folks, and people are like, why don't this include? Okay, so this is a completely legit add-on. It can be encoded.
Same thing with AutoWidget.
Right, it can be
encoded. Legal.
There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, then when we get into third-party stuff, and people say this is grayish area or the dark side of it, but that's when you get to pulling content that Cody doesn't want to be part of. Cody don't want to be part of you pulling a movie. They're like, that's not us. So that's why they separate them. This add-on, so by itself, it's pulling information that is legit. There's no reason to pull information. But when you add the players, which means that's the link between TMDB Helper to a third-party add-on. When
like Saren or Fen or,
Right. When you add that connection, that third-party connection, now you've taken the add-on, which was 100% above the board. Now you've made it, this is able to access things that Cody don't want you to access, because that puts them in a bad light. So one of the things that you got to have in here is you have to add the players. And so you guys will see that I won't go through all these settings.
I'm going to go.
So
I'm going to go quickly past the API keys because I've got my own API key in there.
Okay.
So next up is just navigation, which is obviously you can go through and have a look. And do you want to hide unaired stuff? Because sometimes you do.
Yeah.
If it's not out yet, you don't want to see it because otherwise you're pissed off when it's not playing.
Yeah. Why can't I see this episode?
Yeah. So you can. You've got. It has library integration. So Kodi library integration, which is awesome. Which means that when you have the movies and the TV things on your main screen, like when it's tied into the Kodi library, that anything you add through this will show up in that library as well, which is always awesome. Now API keys.
Oh, APIs! I want those APIs. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to use them.
Yeah, so this is where you can put your track stuff in, which is always good.
You want to add, folks, you want to add your tracked information into this because that is a really intricate part to this add-on, I feel like.
Well, you don't know. You don't have to because I've been using it without.
Well,
God,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you want your own track, yes. If you don't have your own track, then don't even worry about it because you can search anything and pull up anything on here.
Yeah, but for
you
me,
guys seen Discover?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. The Discover part.
Discover is so cool.
Yeah, we were going to. I have written down Discover, so yeah,
we will go to that.
Yeah. It's neat. Okay,
Next
go
up
ahead.
is players.
Yes.
Now, guys, when you first pull it up, the only thing that you're going to have in your default players is YouTube.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is you need to get this URL, and that'll pull the players for you. So then once you have the players, and it loads all of them that they have, and in here you can pick your default player.
Right, and she's picking. Now it only will show the add-ons that you have installed. And
Exactly.
if it's part of the players. Now, some people talk about Shadow. Shadow is not a player yet. They do not have a player for Shadow. We'll see if that ever comes up. But Shadow is not a player. So even if you have Shadow installed on your device, TMDB Helper will not work with it. It's just not going to happen. You have to have the add-on installed and a player that links TMDB Helper to that add-on.
Yeah, and this is the URL you're going to need.
You will need that. And I will put that in the show notes so you guys can hyperlink that and paste and put it in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
We're
you
good.
don't need that. Yeah.
Okay,
And-
so expert is just debug logging. That's mainly if you're a dev.
And really cool with this is that you're able to, when she searches for a movie, it's going to play with Fen because that's what she said.
I
But
chose
you can-
Fen, yeah.
Right. You can also tell it to choose another add-on, or you can tell it, give me a list, and it will show you add-on, let's just say Saren and Crew and Fen.
I don't know about that, Todd, in here.
No,
Yes.
it does. It does.
If you don't have default players,
Right.
if you hit clear defaults,
Yeah.
then every time you pick something,
Yeah.
it'll show you the select.
It'll
So if
show
I
you
put
just
that
like Metallic.
So if I put that to clear default,
Yeah.
it'll show them all?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Good to know.
Yes. That's exactly how it works.
Okay, so
'Cause
we'll
it
try
does-
that in a minute.
Yep. So That's
there's also a way to do it from context.
Like in here, you mean?
Like go out, go to your home
man.
screen. To anything.
Like what do you mean, anything?
To an add-on.
Like to a movie poster on a widget or whatever.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like one of those. Pull up your context menu. Oh, it's not there.
Oh, that's because it's a widget, I think.
Hold on, though. That's fun. Let's try Saren.
Oh yeah, play using.
Yeah.
What's that first widget coming from?
The first one's Fen. Second one's Saren.
Oh, that's weird. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So like for me, I have all my defaults. My default players are Siren, but every now and then I need a source select, so I can do play using and get the source select player instead.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And source select means that it's going to show you all the sources. It's going to give you the list.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of just autoplay. You know what I mean?
It's kind of weird. It doesn't show up on Finn's context menu.
Yeah, maybe they just need to add that then. Oh, randomized. Did you guys want to talk about that?
Those are cool too.
Sucking the juice right out of my computer.
Yeah, I see that. So this just picks random movies from certain things, which, remember, all right, so back in the old days, I used to want this in Bob. I wanted random picks. Because I'm thinking, sometimes you don't know what you want to watch, and you say, I don't know what I want to watch. I'd love a random pick of what I want to watch. And
see how that was different?
The
birds of prey at the top?
Yeah. So
now this is a really, really cool thing to use with the auto widget. One of these?
Well, that would be true, because if you were doing that as a widget.
I have some of those points from that menu in some of my auto widgets for sure.
Yeah, so that would change every single time you opened it.
The ones that I really like are the because you watched. I think they're the based on recently watched ones.
Isn't that in track though?
I
think that's in the track list part.
I don't see that in here.
I think it's in that one.
Okay.
Is it in randomized?
Yeah. So go to the top. They're based on recently watched.
Oh, okay.
So if you hit that, it'll whatever.
Yeah, but you don't have a track.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's
based
powered
on your track.
You got to be logged in, yeah.
Well, and the fact that it's got a big tracked icon beside it probably just tells me everything.
Exactly. But that'll show if the recently watched movie that it picked for me randomly was Shrek, then it's going to give me a bunch of movies recommended based on Shrek.
Very cool. I love that.
People that watch watch Shrek, then they liked this movie too. So
exactly. And there is a little thing, if you put that into a widget, there's a different code that you can put for the label that'll show what movie it's based on.
Oh.
But I don't know it off the top of my head, and it takes a little bit of work because you have to know the ID of the skin container where the widget is on the screen, which is kind of weird.
So would that be something that you would do through your advanced settings when you're doing the context menu then?
So yes and no. Yes, for a normal widget, it would be that type of thing. The thing about doing it with an auto widget that makes it difficult is, say you make a group in auto widget that has some of those random lists, and then you put that auto widget in two different places on your home screen. There's no way to know which one of those widgets has which list in it.
Gotcha.
So it won't be able to get the right label. I'm working on that. I'm thinking about that one too.
Now, is this the next thing you guys want to talk about? Discover?
I thought Discover has some cool features in here. All right, so go to the movies. Now, remember I told you about this where you set the parameters, the rules. Go down to add a rule. So when we talk about, hey, do you want random movies? Okay. So with this, you can add rules. So you can add certain genres or go down the list to I messed around with the plus, the greater than. So you can change it so that it's only movies after a certain date, only movies before a certain date, only movies of a certain type, or you can see the average. So the first one would be greater than. So the whatever number you put in there, the I don't know if it's IMDb or Tracked or whatever they go by.
Yeah, votes come from IMDb.
So it would have to be a vote higher than, and I did like a 7. I said, well, it's got to be higher than a 7. I don't want no movies under a 7. And then you add that, and you can set numerous rules.
See it here, yeah.
And then, all right, so that's a vote count of 7. Now hit the I think it, yeah. You discover the movies with the below setting. So anything, these are movies above a 7.0.
Oh, I love that idea.
But you can set all kinds of rules in there, I would think.
I have a really cool thing to show off with that. That's
yeah.
I'm going to stop you. Hold on, I'm going to stop sharing.
Sure.
I mean,
I can
to
figure it
me,
out.
that is like a, wait a minute, you can do what? You can,
Right.
It is, again.
Now, obviously,
this is-
once again, that's something that can be used in AutoWidget.
You can. The only problem is that you kind of have to know which discover values you want ahead of time,
Okay.
because you're going to then point a widget at it, and that widget is going to have the path to whatever parameters you put in the beginning.
Got you. So if you change
I don't have
it,
any way to
best to
randomize
take it out.
those.
So if you change it, then you're best to remove that widget to begin with and then put a new one in?
You could do that, but
or
you don't-
just have one. It would just be one rule. It would be just one set of rules.
No, but what he's saying is if you
Oh.
change it after the fact, that widget's still the initial one.
Right.
So,
I
but
thought.
what you could do, for example, is add a bunch of different discover paths to
Okay.
a group with different parameters.
Oh my God, could you imagine having one where everything's below like 1?
No.
Those
This
would be
isn't
movies
Myth-
off of Mark's friggin'
This is not Mystery Science Theater 3000, and I can't talk to the whole time.
So since this skin and TMDB Helper are made by the same developer, he went ahead and put a little bit of extra love into Discover for this one.
Awesome.
All right.
So this is pretty cool. This is the default settings. I've not put any rules or anything. So this is just what would be returned from Discover with nothing specified. You can actually scroll through these.
Oh, that's cool.
And
What
hit
is
info on
rules,
them?
though?
Oh,
can
then you could
play
hit
it.
it too.
you can interact with this.
Oh
on
my
the-
God, that is cool.
Okay, but then when you go changing stuff, say I wanted Bruce Willis movies. I don't want to add anything else. That's all I'm worried about.
I
just
hate Bruce Willis. You had to
Oh,
pick Bruce
man.
Willis.
Old Bruce Willis was good.
All right, yeah,
Bruce
old Bruce
not so
Willis.
much.
It's the new one that I can't stand because he sucks.
Okay, well, we'll change
No,
it.
you're good. I'm fucking with you. I just know the new Bruce Willis can't.
Ignore him.
New Bruce Willis
Who's better?
Oh God, who knows?
I'm gonna
Brad
go
Pitt.
back.
can't. All right,
because I
no,
added
Matthew McConaughey
Oh
is the
no, he
only
can't never
actor.
spell his damn name.
Yeah, I don't know if I can spell his name.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, that's my man crush.
It's
Two
is it
T's.
two C's.
Two T's.
Oh man, I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. No, don't
Anyway.
even worry about Matthew.
Bruce Willis is fine.
So this one goes ahead and finds the list based on the rules that you already have. Apparently, whatever movie this is has Bruce Willis in it. Oh, it does. That one was there on the last time.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
But then, obviously you can hit Discover, and it'll take you into the menu with these movies in it.
Awesome.
So that's just a really neat thing that he did, particularly for this skin, is to show those off. My dang computer is so slow when we're streaming.
No. Yeah. It's gonna be that way.
Yeah,
And
I thought
folks.
I'd show this because it's neat.
Yep. And folks, this is more power user. I'd say a
Mhm.
more Cody power user. 90% of people will never use this shit. I would use this because it's cool. Hey, Charles, sit down with your damn Bruce is great. Because he's a Bruce fan, and he knows I hate Bruce Willis.
I like Bruce. I just don't
No.
like Bruce anymore, but I
No.
I love his old stuff. Like the Die Hards. Come on. You can't
Die
not
Hard.
love Die
Okay, after that, he can only act one part. The same
Yeah.
part is what he can
You're
act.
just talking
No
about that
emotion.
friggin' what was that? Death
One
Wish.
emotion.
That was horrible.
He's one emotion, and that's like no emotion. That's what he is.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that was cool. Discover's so neat. I can't I've never seen any add-on that's got anything quite like that, and he really knocked it out of the park.
It's a fun thing if you, again, this is not going to be used in most users are never going to mess with this. I'm sorry.
Man,
I mean,
sorry, Ed.
most users are never going to mess with that. But the users that are more used to Kodi, are more of a power user, are going to mess with that. And you can create some, if you're sitting there, Charles is an example. When you got nothing else to do, short people don't like, oh, he's got to pull the short people thing. Man, Charles, stop it. All right, so if this is for the more advanced user, and when you're sitting there with nothing to watch, you can put in certain parameters. And when I was messing around with that today, I'm like, whoa, I've never seen this. This is just a.
That's the thing is because trending
really
and popular are all the same movies all the time. It's like it gets boring.
Yeah, it is our same trending, and this new movie's out. Well, okay.
Adding that as an auto widget is a genius idea because it'll be completely different movies than what you're used to.
Yeah. And it's cool. All right, so Jizz Planet, Bruce in Unbreakable, same character. Like, that's what he was. Right, when he was doing the
awesome in that.
Just like that. What was that other one? Was it Unbreakable when he was the vigilante?
Yeah, that was a fantastic movie.
All right, so he was fine. He was fine. It's the same part. But I didn't believe it when he tried to cry. When he tried to cry about when his wife died, I said, "Bullshit! You can't act. I see that you're not trying to cry."
And who tried to cry about his wife dying?
He did. He tried to cry.
Oh, you're talking about. Okay, hold on. You're talking about Glass now.
Glass.
It's Unbreakable.
His
wife was alive.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Whichever. This is my third beer, so I'm feeling okay.
Yeah, I can tell you're feeling feisty.
Fucking A. All right, so we're going to move on. We're going to move on. All right, so I will put the information to this. Check it out. I think that this is a really neat thing. I think that people like Cellar Door, that's the people, the Cellar Door with his builds, he builds his stuff around the old meta add-ons. So this is something he's probably going to want to take a look at because if you've ever messed with his builds, they are beautiful to look at, but they're built around meta. Everything is meta stuff. So that'd be something that someone's going to want to check out. Shadow, updates to Shadow, because we're at an hour and a half almost.
Yeah.
So
in fact, I probably ought to split, guys.
All right, Dr. Inferno.
My God, thank you so much for this. I've been in love with it.
It's been an honor.
Make sure to send me your
Telegram
any information. Yeah, any information, the URLs for the stuff you want added in.
Sure.
If I miss something in the show notes and you say, hey, add this, don't worry. Send that message to me. I will be sure to add that in there. Any of your group, any of your mods, or any of the people that you know that want to be on to explain their stuff, because just like I told you, I could explain AutoWidget, but I definitely could not explain it like you did because you know it. You know what I mean? I can only explain it so much, and if you were watching the video, you'd be like, "Oh, you forgot this. Oh, no, you said that wrong." Whereas I like it better that you're able to explain it because then we know it's.
Well, and the thing too is, if there's anything that we have missed, that when you look back at it, you can always come back.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah, and I wouldn't be opposed to it, man. I've had fun tonight.
Okay, good. And your daughter sounds adorable.
Oh my gosh, that's why I'm gonna get off. Because I gotta go give her some attention.
Yeah. Don't be a bad dad.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you,
Dr. Inferno.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for Dr. Inferno for coming on. And
yeah, I got to tell you, I'm already in love with this add-on. I'm already in love with it. I mean, it takes a bit of setting up.
Yeah.
Not that necessarily, but if you're gonna have the TMDB Helper with it, there's some setting up because you have to add the players and stuff. But straight up, it works off the hop, and as long as you've got add-ons in there that actually, would you need players for that? Let me think about that.
TMDB.
I think if you do a list directly, if you do a list directly from Fen, for example, if you have Fen installed, then you're fine and dandy. But yeah, the cool thing. Okay, I'm gonna actually show you something that I found really, really neat.
Okay. Thank you, Trooper, for posting those URLs. Bond, thanks for joining. You got Tan has joined the channel over on the side.
Yeah.
All right, babe, you're on there.
One of the cool things about the movie DB too is once you have that installed as well, Like this add-on that I'm using, or the skin, sorry, I'm really loving it, this Aura mod. Now, one of the cool things about it is search. Now, most skins I find have a search, but the search doesn't actually take you anywhere, which pisses you off because it's like, what's the point? Like even Confluence has a search that doesn't really work. So say you went Deadpool, that one word.
Yeah.
The cool thing is it's going to show you TMDB movies. It's going to show you Saren movies. It's going to show you, you're going to see all the places you can get it from. And then if you set up the TMDB stuff with the players, then it'll just jump right into Saren or Fen. Like earlier today, I looked up something and I couldn't find it anywhere except on TMDB movies. And the weird thing was when it played, like when it went to use one of the actual add-ons, it used Fen. Even though Fen didn't find it for me, it did, and then I played it through Fen. So it's the coolest thing ever. I love being able to use a generic search on here, because normally you got to go into the add-ons and use an add-on to search, right? Here you've got all these choices of what you want to use.
Yeah, most of the time it seems like it only searches the library.
Yeah, like look at animated series. Then you got your Saren movies, Saren TV shows. Yeah. If you had it in your library, it'd be there. Just very, very cool having that TMDB in there. It's like it pulls, and then it pulls from everywhere. And I have that set up with Fen.
What skin is that?
Is Aura mod.
All right, Aura mod.
And we can post, if you guys want, we can post that in the show notes too. Because you know what? I'm loving it. Actually, I'll probably pop out of there for now. Not actually show it. But it's got, you can use cast and more and all that stuff that you want. You know, it's just such a cool skin. It's slow right now just because of this crap. But I mean, I think it's so awesome. And one of the neat things about the skin too, sorry, I know I'm going off a little bit, is in the settings, if you first load it, it gives you a wizard. Run the wizard. Because it'll go through and it'll help you pick out some other stuff that are in here. What do I want? Home? No, I don't want that one right now.
Because that had a lot of, you could change a lot of colors on that. It had, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I want to, what the hell's that one that I had though? Oh yeah, this. This is what's cool about it too. So you've got these choices and it shows you right away what it looks like if you change it. So that's the home layout or a home layout. And this is the one I'm using. You've got a simple layout. Like as you can see, it's similar, but it's more, well, you can tell on the side. The writing is like, everything's faded on this one, where I like this one better where it's clearer. And this one's cool too. So you can pick and choose the one you want. And then another part of it that's cool is, come on now, I think I'm frozen, is this enable vertical. Oh, come on. Sorry.
Yeah, give it time, maybe. All right.
I'm just getting used to the skin. I'm used to going sideways and not down. And then the vertical layout. So as you can see on the side, you can see like search TV shows. I like that one. You can have just icons if you want. You can have both the icons and what it says. You can have it at the top, or you can have it this way as well. So it's basically icons. And what I liked is, I like this one because what's cool about it is when you're on the main screen, say you're on AutoWidget, when you move, it moves it right off the screen. So it completely looks like Netflix.
Right, it's a full screen almost. It gets rid of that menu bar.
Yeah, if you need it, you just go sideways and out it pops. But otherwise than that, yeah, this is what your screen looks like all the time. Yeah. When you first fire it up, it looks like this. And that's why I put AutoWidget at the top. Because as soon as you fire up Kodi, this is what you see.
And then you go up and down to all your widgets.
Yeah. Yeah, love it. And then you can pick and choose, like, for example, like I said, some of them you can put all your movies in one. Like you can put, say you got Fen and Saren. You can put all your movies that you want to choose in just one movie category thing if you want. But I did it so that I have each of them separate. So for example, like I said earlier, this one I know is Fen. And you can actually name it that if you want.
Yeah, you're able to change that name at the top.
This is Saren, and then I did it again, Fen, Saren, and then the movie database. But yeah, you can build it any way you want, and that's the coolest part about it is that you can pick and choose them. Like The way he probably showed it, but the way to do that is like once you've chosen the stuff that you want to put in AutoWidget, like once you've picked a bunch of things to go in Fen Movies, for example, I've got 2 in here. And the only way to set that up then is to go back out and you go to your settings, go to your skin settings, go to customize home menu and widgets. And I added AutoWidget as its own, but down here is on this skin anyway. If you go to configure widgets, that's where you add each of them. So you'll go and you'll add, I added the one widget, which you see right here is where you can change it. See, I keep doing that. AutoWidget, figure widgets. Then you can just change the label.
The label, yeah. So that's what you would see at the top.
So I could call that Fen Movies.
Or Fen Popular. I mean, it could.
No, but I mean, no, I'm not going to call it Fen Popular
oh.
because it switches between popular and trending, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Now it's writing the shortcuts menu. And now you can see it's called Fen Movies. But that's the thing is you're not going to know if it's trending or popular, which I kind of like anyway because I don't really care which is which as long as it's got cool stuff in it. So you can rename each of them and you just do that in the skin settings. But I mean, honestly, I'm in love with this thing. And then it plays off the hop. Like it pops you into, when it comes to TV shows, obviously it's a little different. You go, oh shit, where's the play? That's because they need you to know, like, to go into the episodes.
All right. Let's see. I see that DrInfernoo, he did send me a image.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to mute that. And let me go ahead and click. And this was from Horace that had sent a message. And it said, Horace sending this, and the bottom row is assigned group with art assigned. And so he set the art, because remember we talked about you could set the art or the icon. So let me pull this up.
Can I just answer a quick question too while we're doing this one?
Yeah.
Tan, just so you know, you said the Aura mod searches only Saren and TMDB, but not any other add-ons. But the cool thing about that is you don't even need it to search Saren because as long as as soon as it searches TMDB, you can still play it with either Saren or whatever add-on you have in there if you have it set in TMDB. So it kind of doesn't make much difference. It's like you could only have TMDB Helper on there, and you'd still be able to play it with any add-on you want.
So I'm assuming, because I can only see a screenshot with this, so he's using the AutoWidgets, the guy Horace that posted, and he's using the trending, but then he also has the services, which I would assume are like shortcuts. So when you click on this Netflix part, it would probably pull up any of the Netflix, say.
I would assume so too. Yeah.
Shows. This would be the Hulu type. So you know how it has. Sometimes it'll say the network. So
yeah.
You're able, and he set the art, so it's not some random art. He set the art and set the icon. So you're able to. It gives you some customability that.
Customability.
Custom. Ain't that the word I'm looking for?
Customization.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. I actually said that word. So, so you're able to customize things in a way that is very unique. And
oh, I love it.
Hats off to DrInfernoo for creating this. I think that when someone creates something new, and people think I get a little too excited about when someone creates something new, but
no, it's fun.
So often we create the same, our people create the same thing with a little bit of icon change or fan art change, or they do a little bit of, I don't know, moving furniture around a living room. You live in the same house, they just move the damn furniture around. It's the same house. Whereas when a new add-on comes out, they've taken, and you're moved into a whole new house, they've thought about the whole new layout. They've thought about all new things. He's created something really neat here, I think, for people that are builders. Builders are the guys that are really going to flip out about this because...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm excited. Like you said, I haven't done a build in probably over a year at least, and now I want to do one.
Yeah. All right. Horace said they linked to track list on his network on the TrackNet. They link to track lists. So in Track they have a Netflix And so what he's done is he's linked it to that. So when you link to that, click that, it would be all the Netflix shows. So that's what he's done to make it
I like that idea,
to
though.
fit for him. It's a great, great idea. So hats off to him, and hopefully he comes back on the show. So AA sent me a message and said, have you been able to talk about, because he's not been able to watch. So Shadow. So what is new in Shadow this week? So I'm going to share my screen again because I love to share my screen. Or maybe not. All right, so hold on a second. Booyah! Okay, so we're going to back out of here. Get out of there. I'm going to go to add-ons, videos. All right, so first question first is people are going to say, where do I get Shadow? All right, first of all, Shadow is not officially on any repo. It is available on the Cruise repo, the Diamond repo are the first two off the top of my head. Venom, no. Venom has the resolve URL updates, but not that. So I would say Crew and Diamond are off the top of my head that I know have the Shadow repo or the Shadow add-on. If you do not have either one of those two, you're able to join the Telegram group. I will post that in the show notes, and you're able to get the add-on. So what do I want to show? I want to talk about what is new this week with this. I don't want to show the add-on over and over. It's the same stuff. This is the new stuff. So first and foremost, if anybody that has used this add-on, first he changed the art, which I think Funster did some artwork change on this. Looks a lot cleaner. It looks very uniform now. So that was one of the first changes that I noticed over this week. One of the other things is people were wanting more than Real Debrid. AA only put Real Debrid in at first, but now has authorized you to be able to use All Debrid or Premiumized. So you're able to use those other services. And he gave props to Nixgate, where I believe he got some of the code to allow those two add-ons. And if you look at the show or his release notes, you'll see where he gave thanks to Nixgate for being able to use the code to be able to pull Premiumized or All Debrid. Because he was only focused at Real Debrid at first because that's what he had. But so many people are saying you need to have the other things, so he did that. Next up, of course, that next up means the next episode will play. And I will say, with full disclosure, I think one of the latest updates has an issue with autoplay. It was working before. I noticed today that autoplay is not working. So within the next few days, he will probably take a look at that. He will fix that issue, and that will work. Which means when an episode is about to end, and you can see, when you see right here, the next show will show the next episode. It'll kind of say play, or you just continue to watch what you're watching with this many seconds before the end of the actual video clip. Now, some will show all of the credits and some don't, so that is a variable. The other thing is activate the next episode, so it would automatically load the next episode with 3 seconds. For me, it would be 3 seconds before the end of the clip or the end of the video. It would actually load the next episode. This, it would show me play next episode or play now, I think is what it says. 30 seconds before, so I can continue to watch the episode, and it would say for 30 seconds before that's over, it will be saying, hey, play now, and I can click it and not watch the credits. Show a recommended movie, and now this has to do with movies, and what he did is, if let's say you're watching a movie and you get to the end of the movie, he will actually, it pops up a little thing saying, hey, do you want to watch this movie? Which is a random movie, which is a neat idea, so if you're a person that's not sure what you want to watch next, he actually gives you that option. And you can see I put it 300 seconds as for just messing around. I have it 300 seconds before the movie's over, which is probably about right for the credits, because you're going to watch the credits at the end of the movie. So that's what, 2 minutes before the end of the actual movie, the video is over. He added one-click play, which means you'll be able to click a movie or a TV show. He gave 2 different settings, so you don't have to have the same setting for TV shows and movies. You're able to check it for each one. Meaning, let's say I want to watch 300, and I have one click play turned on. When I click 300, the icon, it will scrape and play the link automatically. It will not give me a link of the sources. If I leave it off like it is now, it gives me the sources and I pick the link. So that was one of the things. And again, for me as an end user, I like to pick the link I choose, because sometimes I want it to wait because I'm a 4K snob. So sometimes I want to wait for a 4K. So I will wait for that, and I'll be like, I want that 4K, not that 4K. Or, hey, don't you know that, Blue?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh God.
But TV shows, I could give two shits, to be honest, because most of the time they're in 1080 or 720. So for it to play quicker is more important to me. So he gives you the option to do it. So that was one of the things he added. And he added the option where I can turn off certain sources, which means those are sites. So if you find, like last week, I did the last video and I talked about CAS was, early in the morning, CAS was having issues. I could actually turn off CAS and turn it off and not have it scrape CAS if that was hanging or causing a delay. So he gives you that option. So I'm going to cancel out of this. So we have the art. Let's see. One click, the art for the sources. Oops. Oh, one of the other things that I didn't notice until he mentioned it in the Telegram group. All right, I'm gonna pull up the context menu. Oh wait, if I can pull it up. Clear cache. One of the complaints for somebody was saying, can you clear the cache and put a button inside the settings? You actually have it in the context menu, that clear cache. So if you're doing some setting changes, that tends to be where you need clear cache. You don't need it as a regular everyday user. 99% of users will never use that clear cache. But if you're doing some changes to settings, then you will want to clear the cache, and it's right in the context menu. So that's really easy to find. One of the things he changed and fixed this week, if you go to info, and depending on your skin, this may look a little different. I'm using Aeon Nox Silvo, so that's why this skin looks like this. So if you're using another skin, you're like, Dabs, this doesn't look exactly the same. A lot of this looks a little different if you're using different skins. So I'm going to click Info. He also fixed the trailer part. So I'm able to actually see the trailer where it was a dead link. For some reason, when you click trailer, the trailer wasn't playing, but now it does. So there you go. Let me see. So the art, and that's what I had for that. I don't know, babe, if you had anything. I did add my track stuff. I know that you don't. I don't think you've added the track. Oh no, maybe I didn't. Maybe I added it for the other. See, I redo my bed. I redo this constantly, but he does add track. So if you have a tracked account, you're able to add that.
Well, you know me. I haven't actually used Kodi in a long time, so I haven't set up my track in forever till today because I'm excited again.
Yeah. It's let me throw that in the trash can. So again, really cool add-on, and I'm telling you folks, Shadow, if you want a fast add-on, there is no faster add-on than that. I don't know if you put one click, because you need a premium account, which means all the grid, real to grid, premiumized. You can't use it with it doesn't have free scrapers, so you got to have one of those accounts. Your movie is going to play anywhere from 5 seconds to 12 seconds. The movie's going to play, or TV show is going to play. There is very little wait time, and that's what a lot of people are amazed on. The developer for this add-on is so quick to make changes in the Telegram group. When people post issues, he is like on it to fix something. So want to give massive props to AA for watching that Telegram group and fixing things, making things happen. Let me take a look.
Reminds me of somebody.
Yeah, babe.
It reminds me of somebody.
Let's see. He's also said, he just sent me a message that says it picks up on recommended movies that TMDB recommends by the movies you have watched. So that would be if you added in tracked. If you add in tracked, it will help to recommend movies. And I think that was for probably next up, when it does that next up. When I said about next up for the movies, if you have your track integrated, then it's going to customize it better for you. If you don't have tracked in it, it's just kind of a random throw out there. So if you have a tracked account, just add it to most of these add-ons. I have it added to my setup, and it's so nice to have that.
And it's free and it's easy.
Yeah, it costs you nothing.
One of my favorite things, like parts of Tracked, I think, is the fact that, especially if you are big on TV series, is to keep all your favorites in there. And then there's usually stuff that'll let you know what's coming up next, like what's on deck and stuff.
And you're right about it's easy to keep track of a lot of stuff. If I have people that'll say, I want to, they'll say, I'm looking for this particular show. I can go on my computer, which is it's so easy to do. I can go on my computer and add a particular show to my like list or my.
You can do it on your phone. If you're out and about.
Yeah, or your phone, and add that to my liked list or a certain list that I have. If you have an add-on that's linked to Tracked, that list is right there. I mean, it is.
Yeah, you just sign into your account, and everything that you have added to yours is right there.
It is quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, Tracked is awesome.
Joden Baker says that Todd enjoying your beer, buddy. Yeah. I'm. This is it. I'm done.
Not like last week where you were bombed.
Well, I was off the next day, so I was okay.
Funny part about that is that's usually me.
Yeah, I'm pumping the brakes. Let's see. DrInfernoo saying my goal here to make the community better for sure, and that is, to me, great work on what.
It's a sign of a good dev.
Yeah, and he's not doing it. I'm looking to hire a bunch. Here's my PayPal. Send me a bunch of. He's like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do to help everybody. Anybody that's a builder, and that's
well, I have a feeling like
super stoked.
Well, he was talking about, if there was enough interest, he'd probably have a Telegram group. I'm pretty sure we can find enough interest for him.
Yeah, and it's just a matter if he wants to keep it up, and that's the thing. Let me show one thing. I'm going to show one more thing. Let's see. I think I have. I'm hoping that I do. I think I do, boys. Let's see here. I think I added it to Saren. So let's go into my movies. Let's see here. My movie lists. All right, so yes. All right, so I added Tracked to Saren. So I go to my movie list. So this here again makes it so easy if you add TV shows or movies to your track list.
Yeah, you can make your own individual lists. Call it whatever you want.
Yeah, it makes it so easy. All right, so I'll give you an example. All right, so my movie list. So, all right, we know I'm Southern, and sometimes I can be a redneck. So there was a show that a movie I wanted to watch, and I wanted to watch this, which was, and I couldn't find it. Typing it into Cody was a pain in the butt. But if I searched for it in Tracked, added it to Tracked, and I added it to my list, which was, I knew that's what it was. I added it to my to this particular list. I added it to my.
Yeah, I like
what
country there.
Oh. Yeah. I added it to several lists. I did it rednecks.
Rednecks and country folk. Nice,
yeah, I think
nice spelling of country.
Yeah, that's because it's country. That's country. I didn't know. How did you say it?
Country?
Yeah, this is country. That's country folk right there. All right, so see, that's a movie. Now, if I go to, so this is in my movie list. Now watch when I go to my shows. And this again, Fen does a lot of the same thing. I go to my shows, and this is under TV. You'll see there's a different list. So what did I say? Country folk? Rednecks and country folks? You'll see that's a different group of things because now it's picking TV shows that are part of my track list. There you go. Oh my good golly molly. Duck Dynasty. Damn,
Jesus.
I love that show. And then my
I'm never watching that with you, just so you know.
Oh my gosh, that's great. And Moonshiners. You did watch Moonshiners.
I did watch that one, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right though. Yeah, Swamp Loggers. Yeah. But if you look, so you don't see that movie that I added to that list because it's not a TV show. So that Tracked it does a good job of keeping track of what are your movies and what are your TV shows. So that create a tracked account, folks. I'm telling you, create a tracked account. It's free, and you can set up these custom lists. You can call it whatever you want. You can see money in the water, drama in the nature, wheeling and dealing.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what? There was one thing that
Trailer trash.
at some point, if somebody can pass along to the dev of Fen, and the one difference between Saren and Fen that I noticed, and it's not a big deal, but I love the fact that when you are signing up for RD on Saren, it copies it to your clipboard. So like when I'm doing it on my PC, I can just paste that right in the real dbrid/device thing. Whereas with Fen, I got to like bounce back and forth to.
Yeah, that does make it easier for on a PC.
Yeah,
Much
I love that though.
I do need to update this list though. This list is a little bit old. This has got to go. That's good. Succession shouldn't be on here because Succession, I only added that because I wanted to find it easily. So
can you remove it right on there or no?
I think I might be able to, but I'm not going to mess with it.
Probably in the tracked add-on. There's a tracked
yeah, but I'm not going to mess with it during the show because if I screw up and it takes too long.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think you can go to Track Manager and I can remove it. But I only added it. I added it because I was on Tracked and I'm thinking I'll throw that in any list. It don't really matter. I'll just throw it in there and then it makes it easy for me to find it. Instead of going to search a movie on Kodi, which if you guys use a remote, sometimes it's a pain in the butt to go through the whole type, especially if it's a long word or if it's a word you don't know how to spell.
Yeah.
Because sometimes us spelling channel.
Yeah, if you're at home, use your phone, use your computer or whatever, and if you're out and about, use your phone.
Yeah, use your phone. You can install Tracked. I also Kodi apps had it to where it's tracked and integrated, so you actually could go into Kodi apps and type it in and add things to your Tracked right through its app, and it made it a little bit easier too. So, heads up what you want to check with that. Baby, do we have any questions over here that I'm missing?
I don't think so. But I'm not sure.
All right, voice search for me, for Kodi 18, is about 50-50.
That's because you're country. It has no problem with me.
Oh, you think?
All you have to do, honey, all you got to do, you just have to articulate a little bit.
I'll articulate my ass. That's what I said.
Like Game of Thrones versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Thrones. That's Game of Thrones right there, baby.
Like, dog whisperer versus dog.
Dog. Man, I love my dog. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess maybe how you...
Or you know what? And the other thing is, I mean, country's not bad at all compared to Scottish people because they can't understand anything they say.
Yeah. Way to go, Griff.
Way to go, Griff.
Kara. Way to go. I'm just busting on them. I love them to death. I'm just giving them a hard time. So I was looking. Did we have any questions that we need? Hey, folks, I'm going to give y'all like 2 minutes to hit me up with any questions. Because
that's a good idea.
We're ready to roll up out of this motherfucker, and you know it's closing time. They call for last call. I heard the bartender say it. How's that, babe?
Pretty good.
Last call.
See, Oben there said you should try the TV show tracker in Windows 10 apps. It's pretty good. And Mandy was talking about something called Hobi, Hobi. She said it runs using her track data for TV shows right on her phone and helps bring up new shows that she can add to her list when new episodes are up and how much longer till they're aired. That's cool.
Hobi.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah.
I'll have to take a gander at that one. Hold on a second. Let me take a look.
DrInfernoo is not TMDB though. He's AutoWidget. TMDB just works in conjunction with it.
Yeah. And I mean
it's TMDB Helper.
Yeah, he's been using it a while. It's been one of his things that he's messed with or used it, so he was more.
Yes, Bob, I have. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm looking for a Hobi.
TMDB Helper. Oh, actually, you know what? If you load hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to give you the repo for the AutoWidget. I'll throw it just right in the chat here real quick. Now, if you load AutoWidget up, when you go to basically add anything to it, it's going to ask you to load up the TMDB helper. So you can get it right through that.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've been doing a lot of stuff today, and I've been making lists, and how did I get that, and where did I get that from, and so
that's
yeah.
the DrInfernoo. Is that the one for the movie database one, or is that the one?
It's the AutoWidget.
That's AutoWidget.
It's his AutoWidget. Yeah, but when you run it, like when you open it up and stuff, and you go to use it, it'll ask you if you that you need to tell you that you need to install the TMDB Helper.
Okay.
And it'll say, "Do you want to?" Just say yes, and it'll load it for you.
Yeah. Because I had loaded mine separately, so I didn't get that.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, I was looking through my notes, and I'm like, crap, where did I get that from? And then all of a sudden, it popped up, and I'm like, yay!
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, I will put those URLs in the show notes. Give me a little while, because it depends on how I'm feeling.
And guys, if you're using the AutoWidget add-on, if there's any issues with it, you can let us know on Telegram and let us know what skin you're using, just in case. Because I mean, like he said, he thinks it runs on all skins, but if there's any skins that it doesn't, maybe there's some tweaks he can do. So if you have an issue, let us know, and then we can let him know. But definitely let us know what skin you're using.
Yeah, and if you're able to get a log, logs help a lot. People don't understand that logs can tell of conflicts between another add-on, or sometimes your internet's jacked up. Sometimes people don't realize that their internet's jacked up, or their ISP's blocking a website. There's so many variables that when people say it's just not working, well, that doesn't really tell somebody that's creating something that's working for everybody else but not working for you if it's a true problem.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, I've been using Todd's builds for forever, so I've been using Sarah a really long time. And then today I went and I loaded it up, and it wasn't working for me, and I was baffled. And I uninstalled, and I did my RD again, and I did this and that and everything. And Todd said, "You try this, you try that," and he goes, "Hold on, did you load the scrapers?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, you got to load that in there." I'm like, "I did not know that." So for those of you that have tried Saren and you're like, "What the hell? This isn't working." Yeah, you got to load them in yourself, just so you know.
Yeah, and like I had said earlier, it's a way that Saren separates themselves from the plugin.
Very smart.
It separates them. So if you install that plugin, which is through another URL, that's them saying, "Hey, you know what? I didn't tell them to install that. That was their choice." TMDB Helper. Hey, I didn't tell them to install all those players. This add-on was completely fine.
Yes, it is. Sorry.
So for you to go farther is your choice. So yeah, very cool work.
Well, Jurialmunkey, I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Like Tan said, the TMDB Helpers by him, and as you noticed too, the skin that DrInfernoo was using and the Aura mod that I use, he's also involved in that. Guys all over the place.
And we know that Cody can be so particular who they allow in their repo and if they blacklist you. So that's why a lot of these guys are like, you know what, I'm going to be above the board, and this is what you can get. Now, if you want to go and use this, well, then that's up to you. So, hey, major props to the guys that are doing this stuff and offering this. And
totally.
Yeah, that scraper thing, you went on and on about that. And you even wiped your build.
I wiped my whole friggin' build.
Started over, and you're like, I'm starting over, and you were frustrated through a text I saw.
I put Saren in right away, and it still wasn't working. I'm like, come on!
But see, in my build, I already have it in there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I don't know why it's not working. It works for me. It's working.
That's good, Oben. I've been playing with it all day. Don't tell my boss that I didn't really work today. I'm playing with Cody.
It's a good thing he doesn't watch my channel. He probably doesn't even know I have a channel, so like most people.
Darren, what are you talking about? My question, don't change people, use. I have no idea what that even means. Yeah, he's writing like Todd.
Hey, if we missed your question, you got a couple more minutes because we're going to roll out of here. If I missed your question through the long us talking about other stuff, post it. I will do my best to try to answer those questions before I want to try to keep it right at 2 hours.
Wow,
hey,
that's a first.
Who else's shows are like 2 hours? Ain't nobody's 2
God,
hours.
what was last week? Was it 5? It was a lot.
Yeah, and it was if you
4
went to
maybe?
the after show, it was
Oh
it was
God.
close to 5, but the after show went till 10 o'clock at night.
Darren, are you drunk? I'm
Government.
thinking he's drunk.
My question don't change people.
Oben, I'm definitely putting one out, but it's going to be very, very boring. Well, not boring, but it's going to be very plain. I'm not going to even bother skinning because there's no point, because I find that the skin looks great on its own, and with this AutoWidget, it's like Cody, except you can have everything you possibly want. And now that Todd, that you guys showed us the Discover there in TMDB Helper, holy moly, I'm going to set that for something cool.
Well, I'm sure you'll play with that for a while.
I totally am.
All right, so
Oh, there's Griff.
Alban, if most likely, I would assume that you're going to put that in my wizard, or you're going to put it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be in my wizard, but I will say this in all fairness, and love Blue to death, she will probably create this, and it will never get another update again.
Yeah, but if I'm using only 2 add-ons and they're both good and they do their own updating, then it'll last a long time.
It will. But I just know her. She's having fun and she's enjoying it, but it gives you that fun. It's fun, and I ain't trying to knock her. I'm just saying she's gonna release it out there, but it's just like my builds. I want simple and working. I haven't updated DAX in
a long time.
4 months.
That it still works.
It works. Why am I going to update? I'm not looking to do a bunch of stuff. It works. So guess what? You click it, and yes, crew needs to update. Saren's got to update. Yeah, you wait a couple minutes, it updates, but then it works.
Yeah,
so,
Jeremiah, it should be. It's such an easy one, and because I'm not skinning and stuff, that it'll probably be on Dab's Wizard tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll put it in my repo. I'll put the link, the hyperlink in my show notes. Click it if you want.
I just got to make sure I take out my RD first.
Yeah.
Or zip it up.
Yeah, because you'll get a message from RD. Promise me.
Oh, I did that once with my YouTube add-on, just my YouTube creds, and I got some weird thing and an email about it.
Yeah, RD is quick to tell you when you fuck up. Donnie, good night. So we'll put that out. We'll see what happens with it. People mess with it. But check out some of the stuff. I will do my best to get them URLs in the show notes tonight.
Yeah. And guys, if you think of questions and the show's over and you're not on Telegram or you can't get a hold of us, write them down. And then next week, when Todd does a show again, you can ask them then.
Yeah. And I will post my Telegram group. And Telegram is free. I mean, it's free. You can.
And it's fun.
And there's lots of chat, lots of stuff going on, some funny stuff, some information. It never hurts you to be part of. I have my Telegram group, and there's all kinds of conversation goes on. And
just watch out for lots of gifs of boobs and stuff.
Well, there's not even that many of that.
There's enough.
There's enough. Not that much.
See, you don't notice it because you enjoy it, whereas the rest of us are like, oh, God, boobs again.
No, I think you're thinking of some of the other groups.
Oh, okay, whatever.
All right, so Dabs. All right, so Jeremiah says show notes. So, folks, when you watch this video, not right now because we're watching live, but once the show is over, you'll see the description underneath this. Not the title of the show, but the description. And always you will see show more. It's a little icon. Click it. It opens up a new window or extends the window that will give you all the links in the extra information that I might give. I put all kinds of information in there for all my shows. When people give me hyperlinks, I put it in there. So I get questions every week about someone will say, hey, do you have a link to that repo that you talked about last week? I'm like, it was in my show notes. You just got to click show more, and there you go. And then you're able to watch, and you'll be able to, I try to make it as easy as I don't want you to have to watch my video a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Make it as easy as possible.
You're very, very nice about that. Whereas other people would say, oh, check my video for the links.
No, you know what I need to say? Buy my VPN with my hyperlink or with my...
Yeah. Hey, Todd, TS said, DeButcher, what makes the shadow add-on so fast? Do you think it has to do with the fact that he coded it from scratch? So he's probably doesn't have a bunch of stuff in there that doesn't necessarily need to be in there. Do you think that's what makes it faster?
Very true. This is not a fork of something else, and that was asked in my group last week. It's not a fork of something else. It is a brand new add-on. He wrote it himself. It's focused at just certain particular things, and he focused it for real Debrid, or I don't want to say real Debrid, Debrid services, which means real Debrid, all Debrid, premiumized. He didn't add any extra stuff. Now, folks, when we have requests, when people request more and more, some of that stuff can be done and there's not a lot of problem. But the more crap you load on it, the slower it may be. So he only has, and off the top of my head, I'd have to say 20 scrapers is what I feel like. I could be wrong.
No, but even Todd, when you think about it, when you were clicking around in just the GUI of it, it's fast.
Yep.
From screen to screen to screen. Like it's not even the loading time of a scraper, for example. The whole add-on is fast, right?
Yeah, and he wanted it to be that way. So he tried to make it very simple code, not a lot of bloat. And that's what he's trying. And one of the things he did say to me that he wants user feedback. He doesn't have a repo. He's not, you won't find him on social shit. In my group or in his own group is the only place you're going to find him. He's not looking to be, somebody. He just says, I want to create something that's new and fun and fast to use. And that's what he wanted out of this add-on, is something fast.
Yeah.
And it is.
Well, and it's true. It's true. Like the whole coding from scratch, like a lot of add-ons, like there's a lot of good devs out there, but a lot of add-ons are based on, they're forks of other add-ons. And sometimes they don't necessarily know what all that code does. So instead of taking it out, they leave it in just to be safe, because otherwise they break it. And so, yeah.
And all right, TS, you say even downloading torrents is still fast. Okay, so when you're using 90, I'm gonna guess on the percentage. I'm gonna say 99% of what you watch on a Debrid service is cached, which means Debrid already has it. So Debrid has it on their servers. It's already sitting there. So when you say you want to watch a particular show or movie, you're just, all Debrid is saying, oh yeah, we got it right here. Here you go. You're not downloading it. If you download it, if it's a non-cached item, you're going to find you have to wait. And that's been with all kinds of add-ons. And it doesn't even really have to do with the add-on.
It's remember in the old days with YouTube, where when you first started it, when our internet wasn't quite as fast, you'd have to wait for YouTube to load a little bit before the actual video would start.
It's got to get ahead.
Yeah. And like you said too, Todd, if there's only 20 scrapers versus like 90 scrapers, then when you pick something, it's going to load way faster.
Yeah, it's got less library to look through. And he didn't add any free scrapers. He says, hey, I only want paid scrapers, Debrid, that kind of stuff to make it quick. And he wanted quick and fast. I'm sorry, you're not going to get any faster. Now, it may not have all the eye candy that some of the other add-ons have. But
do you really care?
But again, that's user preference. If you want all the eye candy, fine, get Gaia. Gaia is so full of eye candy, your eyes will pop out. But I'm going to wait a minute and a half for it to scrape and for me to pick a link.
Yeah.
If that's what you want, fine.
I mean, really, when you think about it, what do you need out of an add-on? All you need are essentially posters, movie posters. That's all you're looking at. And then pick one and then play it. And the faster it plays, the happier you are.
Most of the time, yeah. So, folks, check it out. I will post all the links that I can get in my thing. Definitely check it out. I will say, if you do the auto play, one click, I'm telling you, movie loads within 6 seconds, maybe 10.
Okay, but at that token, see, I don't always use autoplay because so I like to pick my links. But be careful, because if you don't have 4K, make sure you go in the add-ons settings and put it down to what you want. If you only want 720, make sure you put it down to 720, because then first of all, it'll load faster, and second of all, you won't be getting like a 50 gig file of 4K that you don't want.
Yeah, it's right in the settings. It tells you minimum, maximum. So yes, you're exactly right. That had minimum, maximum. Choose it. If you only want 1080,
I do.
make that
I do.
Yeah, make it. That's your maximum. don't even have it mess with 4K because
It's just more shit loading.
More shit loading, and guess what? It's not going to play on your TV.
And if it auto plays for you, then
yeah,
then you're screwed.
So yeah, great thing. So let me see. I think that was all I had for that. So I think I've got all of my notes for the day. All right, babe. Anything you got to finish to show up with? Because we're ready to roll.
That was fun though, because that was a fun day for me. I had so much fun playing with that new add-on. Well, the two of them actually.
Well, outside
AutoWidget and the TMDB
you worked
Helper.
all day. First, right?
Yeah,
all day.
Carol, if you're watching this, I worked all day today. And yeah, no, I'm excited now, and I'm gonna definitely do like just a simple build, but that'll be like fast and easy and really, really nice looking. Because I love movie posters. I like getting the latest, and I'm gonna do a discover of something weird. Maybe I'll just do that for myself. I won't do that for the actual build, but I think discover should go in there. No, maybe not. Maybe you can set that yourself, guys. But still, there was some cool stuff. Randomize. I'm definitely going to put that in there. Then you never know what you're going to get. Because 9 times out of 10, I look at stuff and I'm like, oh, I've seen that. I want different stuff. Or I want to know what's the newest thing that's out. Like, Bloodshot's just come out recently and Underwater and stuff like that. I want to see that. I want to see that on my main screen when I open Kodi.
Yep. Well, if you add tracked and then you add it to not watched.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like you can get widgets. If you have Silvo has great widgets.
Yep.
But the fact that these switch out is the coolest part of it. And you can choose just one specific place, but it's so much more fun to have your list be different every time. Because even in Tracked or in TMDB, the list is kind of the same day to day. Yeah, it'll change maybe, every 3 days or whatever, but this will change it for you every time you want to change it. Whether or not you set it for half an hour or 2 hours or 12 hours, you can just go into AutoWidget and hit auto refresh, like the refresh that he has in there, and it'll refresh everything, which means it'll probably 9 times out of 10 choose something different for that whole line of movies that you have. So if you don't know what to watch, best thing to have.
So we've given you 3 really cool add-ons to check out. The Shadow, the AutoWidget, and TMDB Helper.
Yeah.
Giving you 3 things to check out, folks. Again, my show, I try to show you something that's a little bit different. Something you're not going to see on somebody else's channel. Video that you're not going to see. Yeah, babe.
Sorry, I just want to say, Mark, I just want to thank Mark for that, because he's the one that actually showed me the video for that in the first place.
Yes.
So,
Mark from Grindhouse, yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with me, because I haven't been that excited in a while.
Whoa.
Well, I haven't seen you in a few weeks, honey.
I will give Mark thanks and props for posting that, and I went through and looked at it. I will post his video in the show notes again, and you check out this video. Subscribe to him.
You're talking about DrInfernoo now.
DrInfernoo, yes, DrInfernoo, and see what else he's got to offer. I mean, I think he's got a good idea and a good eye on what he's trying to head towards.
Well, and his new ideas that he has for it too in the next possible updates sound great.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, so we're going to roll out of here. Thanks for everybody watching.
Thanks guys.
Yep, thanks for everybody watching. We're down to 50. I've lost half my damn viewers. But you know what? I don't do it for the...
That's because you kept saying every 2 minutes, okay, we're going to close out now. We're going to close out now.
That's because I got to pee. But hey, we do this show not for the numbers, not for the YouTube money, which takes 5 years to get you. But we do it to try to educate you, try to show you something different. And I want to big thanks to DrInfernoo for coming on the show to explain his add-on. I could have explained it in my eyes, in my opinion, in my experience, but him being able to show you was so much better. Now, he probably showed you quicker than you want. Go back and rewind it, slow it down, take a look at step by step. Thanks to him for coming
Okay,
on.
can I just
Yeah,
can I
babe.
sorry, just say something really quick. Bob, did you? Okay, he says I did not get the option to load TMDB Helper. Now this might help. I'm not 100% because I did it a couple hours ago, but as far as I know, go in and set up a. Hold on one second. I'm just going to go back in here to mine. Crapola. Why do I always go in the wrong places when I'm not meaning to? If you go in and you hit create new widget group, Bob, hit create new widget group and make a group, and then go to an add-on, for example, like fan or whatever, and pick something and put it in that group. And then when you try to actually, if you go back into the AutoWidget and you try to open that, what'll happen is it'll probably, no, wait, that won't work. Hold on. How did I do that? Crap. No, I can't remember.
Well, I will do my best. I will put his repo in there, and if you install it via his repo, it should be.
Yeah, because I mean, it for me, I clicked on something and it asked to load it. You might try. Oh, you know what? Oh shit! No, that doesn't work either. I'm trying to think of why, but it prompted me to load it. So click around in there. Try refreshing. Try adding. Try adding a new one.
What I will say is, I will also put. I will put the what's it? Jurialmunkey. What's his name?
Jurial, I think it was like Jurial.
Jurialmunkey. I will put Jurialmunkey's repo. I'll put that URL in there. Install that. I have that on my setup. I installed his repo separate.
Yeah, I can't remember how I did it. It just came up for me.
So I will post that in the link. Install his repo. It's not going to hurt you. It's a safe repo. And in his repo, if you look under video, it has the movie database helper is in there. And you can install it. And so, yeah, that would be the best way to do it. I would suggest, because I would prefer to have his repo. All right, so we got rolling out, and I think Kiss My Butt, Mandy, Old Man Bladder. This is only my fourth beer.
Old Man Bladder. Once you break the seal, honey, you're screwed.
That's right. I mean, it's the fourth beer. I think I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Other than I'm starting to kind of have to sit sideways. All right, so thanks for everyone coming on the show. Babe, do you have anything to finish up? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think I'm okay. Bob, make sure you join our Telegram group, too, because we can probably help in there better. Because I can't remember right now. It happened.
Yeah, drinking too much wine.
No, it's just I can't remember, honestly, what I clicked in order for that to happen, because you don't want to set another add-on because it'll use the other add-on versus you want to use that. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I think if you create a group and then you click on that group and then click on it says no, nothing in here yet, it'll prompt you. Yeah. Can I share my screen for 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's not going to help 100%, but this is what I'm thinking. Bob, if you're still watching, Bob, this is what I'm thinking. Hold on.
That's what you're thinking. All right, hey, do you have enough time to share your screen while I go pee?
Yep. Give her. Okay, so Bob, what I'm thinking is once you've got AutoWidget installed, if you go to the top here where it says create new widget group, and I created one called test, but we'll just do another one like test 2. I think if you go down to test 2 and click it, because there's nothing assigned to it yet, and go down to no AutoWidgets have been defined for this group. If you click that, if I'm not mistaken, it'll prompt you to download the TMDB Helper. And then after that, you've got to load the players into the TMDB Helper, and then you have to define what you want to have for players. And then after that, anything that you have in that, for example, if you had something out of it, if you'd gone to TMDB Helper, for example, and I did discover, you can add it to the AutoWidget group, and then it would be in there after. And then, of course, if you want to do that as its own separate thingy, what you have to do is you have to go to your skin settings again and add it. So there's AutoWidget. We want to put it in configure widgets. Add it. Choose the widget and programs. And use random path. Now, it might reset. There we go. See, it's building skin shortcuts again. Sorry. It's not normally this slow.
Sorry.
Oh, and you'll see too, this is what happens. It'll ask you to initialize a widget. So you just click it. Now, the best way to do it, like for me, was to do them all, set them all up, and then I just initialized one and it initializes them all. Oh, wait, sorry, it's still writing it. Gives me time to drink wine.
Ease up.
And there we go. Those are all the Discovery ones. So you can see at the top, it says Discover Movies, below settings, blah, blah, blah. You obviously don't want to use that. That's not a widget you really want, but just to show you how it works. So let me know if that works, Bob. Set up a group, name the group, click on the group, and then click no whatever in it, and let me know if it does that for you.
Again, talking our Telegram group, it's definitely easier to help people through things. And then it gives you options that if someone needs to open a Hangouts, or then you can talk one-on-one. Babe, you got anything to finish up with so we can roll out of here?
No, good to go.
All right, I'll say this, folks. In the considering the situation we're in, thanks to our healthcare workers, thanks to all the people that are essential workers, thanks to everyone that is helping keeping things rolling while other people have to stay home.
Thank you, Todd, working 12 hours a day at the grocery store to keep people happy.
Right, we'll do our best. Stay home if you can. Wear a mask if you can. Just try to This is all only going to last a certain period of time, folks. This is not forever.
It's going to last forever. U.S. doesn't smarten up, I'll tell you that.
Sit down. All right, so this is only going to last a certain period of time, and it's all going to be over. So thanks to Dr. Inferno for coming on. Thanks to Blue for showing up today.
Yeah, no problem.
Making a build and having that user perspective. If you guys, again, I've always said it numerous times on my videos, if you're a developer, you're an add-on maker, you're a builder, you're somebody that's creating something or doing something, if you want to be on the show, my show is open to anybody that wants to join. I don't, as long as you're not trying to sell some shit, you can be on the show. That's my big catch. I'm not looking here to sell your IPTV service. But if you're here just to educate, show people something, show them something they haven't seen somewhere else, come on. Come on my show and show what you've got. That's what I'm here to do. Thanks to Dr. Inferno again. Thanks to the guys that, Jurialmunkey for all of his work that he's doing with the TMDB Helper. And we're going to see what happens. Thanks to AA for his work with Shadow.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
And it's quick. If you guys have any other add-ons that you think I want to check out or want to look at, one of the suggestions...
That's going on my build too, by the way.
Blue suggested maybe once a week taking a look at a different add-on and maybe talking about that add-on. That's what we might do each week, is talk about it. I will continue to give you the updates for Shadow and what he adds. If there's not anything, I'm not going to show you the same thing over and over, but if there's things that have been additions and things that you need to see, I will do my best to show it to you. Join my Telegram group, and you know what? At this time of of really high stress for your country, and I don't care where you are in the world right now, your country's under high stress. This is where we can show our humanity. This
Yeah.
is where we can be a better person, where we can help somebody else. If there's somebody that needs help, step out and help them. If there's somebody that's struggling with something, step up and to help bridge that gap that they may be falling into. This is a time of need for a lot of people. Step up and be a bigger human. Don't think about yourself, think about others. I think this is a roll call for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think this is where we're going to find out who's who. You're going to find out who's
Oh,
about
that's
themselves.
100% true.
So
100% true.
yeah. So look at that right now. Hey, who can you help right now? You know, maybe just fixing a meal for your neighbor, or making sure you're checking in on loved ones. Maybe checking on some of your neighbors that can't get out to the grocery store, and you pick up a few extra things when you go out. This is a time we can check in on other things like that, as well as enjoying streaming and cord cutting and all the other stuff that we talk about on this show. Thanks to everyone that's watched this show, and you know what? Streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you, and you know what? Again, help somebody else.